y'all, you know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games, episode 271.
You made it. Well done, sir.
Man.
So sorry.
It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. Woo-wee. Lord, have mercy. I was telling these boys right before we started that I got like my body trying to be sick on a brother.
No.
And so every time I get hype or I laugh, I go into a coughing fit.
Oh, man,
So
I'm sorry.
I'm hoping to stay away from the coughs this week. Oh, man, doggone it.
Does anyone else in the family have it?
No, I think I gave it to myself on the road.
Oh,
Well,
right.
Don't be worried.
And
You're
soon
not the
you will
only
give
one.
it to everyone else.
Right.
No, I haven't been kissing anybody on the mouth, so
Yeah.
I've been dodging it just in case.
Piper had it. Now Lauren has it. I'm just waiting for me to get it, too.
Oh,
It's something. There's like a little coughing virus going around. No fever or anything, which is good, but
Nope,
it's just
yeah.
Coughing virus.
it's just enough to be annoying.
right, exactly. Will you kick us off there, Tim Router?
Yes, sir. Piper's topic of the week, of course.
Coughing her lungs up.
Coughing her lungs up
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And she's all excited. She is off from school this week, so we are entertaining her. And she's been really sweet. Like yesterday
we are entertaining her.
It's so true.
Yeah, well, it is true because you have to try and find things for her to do. Otherwise, you're going to go insane. But she's been awesome. On Monday, we had a cousin day, so I got to see my nephew and my niece, and we went jumping at Above All. And then yesterday, she came to the store with us, and so mommy was working and daddy was working, and she was great. She was just doing her thing, and so she's been super awesome. And so she's really excited for Thanksgiving, and of course, then it's Christmas. And so, yeah, man, that is happening. We are doing nothing, which is awesome. Well, sort of. We're going to be over at our in-laws for Thanksgiving. And so Lauren is just going to make a few things. She usually makes homemade applesauce and homemade cranberry sauce.
Ooh, wee.
So that's what we'll be doing today. So most of my work is pretty much done at this point, which is nice. So we'll be running around doing stuff today, the hustle and bustle right before Thanksgiving. And then we get to hang out and pig out and get in our tryptophan comas like we always do.
That's right.
I don't think I'm doing anything for Black Friday this year. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I need isn't worthy of me getting up at 5 a.m. and battling crowds at this point.
Right.
So it's just it's these small little things that we need to do. Still working on the house, which is great. Got a lot of stuff done this past weekend, and we'll probably keep doing some stuff this weekend. We'll get our tree this weekend as well. We'll go out to the Santa's tree lot like we normally do, and we'll pick out a nice real tree so I can start getting allergies again, which will be great. And it's so funny. The needles make me break out into a rash. It's the weirdest thing.
Wow.
But it doesn't itch or anything. Like it will go away within like 30 to 45 minutes. It's
but
the
you're
weirdest
cured of
thing.
all that now, right? So
Yeah,
what
no,
happened?
I'm definitely cured of all that. It doesn't mean I still won't get. I won't get any allergy attacks. I haven't had an allergy attack in years. I might get a little stuffy, but that's it. But yeah, the shots have really done their job, and it's been great. Just kind of being free and clear of that. So, but when it comes to like skin allergy stuff, the pine needles are, I'll always break out into like a little rash like that. So, just a reminder that Pollen Boy is still around every once in a while. He still lives inside of me. So it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll just be here. This is the kickoff to Lauren's really busy season, so she'll be at the store quite a bit from here on out, and it's fun. I love the hustle and bustle of it all. And downtown Franklin looks great. The lighting of the Christmas tree will be next week.
Is there more lights down there than usual?
Oh yeah, they went a little more ballistic, I think, this time.
Did they really?
But it looks really pretty in the square. Yeah, they added like these little LED snowflakes in all the trees around the square, which looks really, really great. And and so it'll be so much fun. Like I love this. I love this time of year, man. It's just great. On the gaming front, I was a little late to the podcast this morning. I have one more trophy on Shadow of War to get. And it's just one of those where you have to kind of just, everything has to be right. And it was almost right. And then I'm like, and then I'm like,
Can you say at all what it is or what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Or is that
it's actually, it's not a spoiler. The trophy is called trolling. So what you have to do is you have to find a captain. And typically a captain that has a gang of Ologs. Ologs are those bigger dudes, the bald bigger dudes.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you have to get the captain's health like super, super low. Then you have to ride an Olog and kill him. So it's called trolling. So you kill a captain while riding an Olog. So I have to find a captain that has a gang of Ologs, or find a bunch of Ologs near him.
Yeah.
B, start breaking him down to his health. So like his health has to be like, one more strike and you could pretty much kill him. And then you have to, what you do for Ologs to mount them is you shoot them in the head, it stuns them, and then you can get up on them, and you have to run into the captain.
But it's not super easy on those things.
You would think it was a piece of cake, but it's not.
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
Because if you hit one of the Ologs just with your sword and then try and shoot him in the head, sometimes it'll actually kill him instead of stun him. So it's just,
and don't you have to like shoot them like while they're roaring?
No, you just shoot them in the head, and the little stars go around their head, and that means you've dazed them. And then for a PlayStation, you hit R1, and that makes you jump up on his back, and it's kind of fun because you can just kind of ride around with him. But you have to like run into your captain, and so his health has to be low because it doesn't give you that hit isn't very powerful. So you have to get him almost to zero health. And it's just, it's that little sweet spot. And so I'm just trying to find that little sweet spot. So, but it's great. I will be definitely done with it probably today. Shadow of War will be complete. And then, man, I don't know what to play next. I've got Frozen Wilds, I've got South Park, and I've got Assassin's Creed. And I think I'm going Assassin's Creed. I mean, that's back-to-back like open world games. So I'm not burned out by it, but I'm dying to play that game. So I think that's what's going to be my next game. But I might want a palate cleanser and do South Park beforehand. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm torn. But there's some great games that I cannot wait to play. And dude, that is it for me.
There you go.
Woo.
Chris McCracken.
Oh, man. So work has been, this week, as you might imagine, has been pretty light. I'm taking off today. Stacy decided she was going to take off today, and so I'm taking it off with her because she's going to be leaving on Saturday for Boston, and she'll be there about 3 weeks. So,
no, she still has. I thought she was done with all the new projects.
No. This next one will be her last one of this calendar year, and then she'll go out. I think actually her next one is a store in the Metroplex, but it's still a big project. So, she'll get to come home every night she'll probably be working at night. So she'll be able to come home and sleep, but she won't be traveling. But her last traveling gig of the year is coming up. So she'll be back about, I think, I don't know, maybe the week before Christmas.
Oh, man.
Something like that, I think. Yeah, I think she comes in somewhere around the 19th or 16th or something. Anyways, so because we're going up to Oklahoma for Thanksgiving on Thursday, which happy Thanksgiving Eve, everybody. On the Thanksgiving anyways.
That's right.
Because of that, and then on Friday, she's got to do all the stuff she's got to do to get ready to go on the trip and, packing and all that kinds of stuff. And then her flight is early in the morning. I think it's at 7 or somewhere around there. So she'll have to get to the airport pretty early, so we won't be staying up late that night. But we just wanted to get some more things taken care of at the house because last Thursday, we had the pod delivered that I had mentioned, and then we unloaded it over the weekend. Actually, we got it all done on Saturday, and I knew the unloading was going to go way faster than the loading did.
Right.
But we got it done, and I think in like 4 hours or something crazy.
Nice.
So
very nice,
it went really well. But of course, now we've got boxes everywhere. That we got to dig through and put everything where it goes, which we've gotten most of the stuff that's really important. Like we got a lot of the kitchen stuff put away because that's really kind of the most important stuff because like we didn't have, we're using paper plates and all this stuff. So now we have actual plates and cups and utensils and all this kind of crazy stuff. Because we already had about, a quarter of our clothes unpacked because that's what we had at Katie and Kale. So, I have more clothes to get out, but it's like, well, I'm not in a rush to get all those put away because I have
Right.
clothes to wear, you know?
Mhm.
And then the other thing about that is that we've decided to put in, we demoed all of our closets and we're putting in a new closet system in every single closet and the pantry. And so we wanted to get that completely done before Stacy left. And in order to make sure that we could do that, because we don't know exactly what all is going to happen on Friday, we wanted to have one day where we could just work on getting all that stuff put together. So that was kind of the big driver on why we both took off this Wednesday. Because usually I tend to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on the week of Thanksgiving. I don't usually take off any time during then because a lot of other people, as you can imagine, in the office do.
Oh, I'm
and it's
sure.
nice to have a few people still sticking around in case, something comes up. And I'm usually there, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that's really probably going to happen. So I was like, well, I'll just take off. And if for some reason something crazy happens, like I live so close to the office, I could run up there and take care of something if I needed to. So it's not a big deal.
That's great, man.
So yeah, I mean, everything house-wise is going great. Just got to get everything taken care of, like I said, and put away. But it's like the home stretch, if you will. And then, of course, there's always going to be like little things we're tweaking on here and there, some new light fixtures, new fans, whatever.
Right.
But nothing that's going to really impede or make you still feel like you're in the process of moving in. I'm ready to have that feeling be done, even though it really hasn't been the worst thing in the world. The last thing, actually, pretty much everything now is at the house. The last two things that I need to do is I do need to borrow my dad's truck because we had been borrowing the bed that we were sleeping on in the living room. We borrowed that from my mom. So I need to borrow my dad's truck to take that back to her. And then she's been holding on to our other TV and my my little server computer that I have. Because I wanted them to be, one thing, they wouldn't fit in the pod when it was full. And I didn't want to put them in the storage unit because it wasn't climate controlled. So so she was like, yeah, I got an extra room. We can just put them in there. So I just need to get those two things. But once I've given her bed back and brought that stuff over, then everything is done. And like, I don't have anything else outstanding anywhere. So that'll be the last little bit that I got to do. Yeah. So looking forward to that. Outside of that, really hasn't been much different from last week. It's been kind of just easy peasy. On the gaming front, still kind of the same situation. Haven't played a ton. I've obviously done some more Overwatch with Stacy while she was in town. And I've played a lot. If you look at it as a whole, I've played a lot of Call of Duty multiplayer. I just have not been able to touch the campaign of anything. And it really bugged me because I know Battlefront has been out now, and I've been like, man, I had been looking forward forever to, I want to see this single player content, see what the story is. And it's not super long. From what I hear, it's only about 6 hours or so. So it's like, man, that's not very much at all. But it's finding the time to sit there and do that. It's just, because I know with story related stuff, I know I've said this before, but I just got to say again, I can't stand only playing like 20 minutes. Like that's such a tease.
Yeah,
I just can't.
absolutely.
I can't do
With
that.
story,
I need to have at the bare minimum. My brain's like, nope. You give me an hour, or you give me nothing. And I'm like, all right,
Exactly.
all right. Well,
right there with you, man.
I'll wait there and do that. Whereas like multiplayer, if I could play, 2 matches, which might be 20 minutes or 10 minutes, depending. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm like, all right, cool. I can come back to this when I'm able. Or if I'm in the middle of a match and something comes up and stays like, oh, I need help with this, I just back out. It's not a big deal. But in the story thing, it's like, but I gotta see what Johnny says, Stacey don't care what Johnny says. She's like, come help me with this thing. So I don't want to be in the middle of
Johnny!
that. Yeah. But whenever she heads out on Saturday, I mean, obviously I'm still gonna have stuff around the house to do, but I can just, pick and choose when I'm gonna do that. If I decide, hey, I want to take this next hour to play games and record or whatever, I can do that. And then the hour after that, that's when I'll go put, the teacup away or whatever the heck it is. It's in this box I find.
The teacup. That's your sole mission today.
I got to make sure that when I put it
the
up,
teacup
that
away.
when I'm putting the teacup away, that I have my pinky up in the air.
Yeah,
morning.
that's exactly right.
Sure.
Yep.
At least up to the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Put my pinky up to the moon.
So, are you gonna decorate for Christmas at all? Since Stacy's not gonna be there for most of the season.
About that, we never decorate.
Sorry.
We never decorate.
Didn't mean
ton.
to open that one up.
I don't do or we don't do, I should say, lights on the house.
Okay.
And
that's fine.
A bit to Stacy's chagrin because she would like to do that, but I'm like, look, I'll put them up there, but they're staying. I'm not taking.
I know that's right.
I'm not doing this mess. And she's like, no, we're not going to do that. So we don't do that. And I'm like one of those, curmudgeons, if you will. I'm one of those people who's like, no Christmas junk till after Thanksgiving.
That's not a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that,
To
man.
some
We haven't
people
decorated.
it is, and definitely to my sister, who's like, September rolls around, Christmas music. It's like, no,
Not in September.
No.
She would do it in the summer. She'll do it year round. She just does not care. Yeah,
Jenna?
Yeah, Jenna will
I'm gonna
do
need
that.
you to dial that in, girl.
That's right.
But on
Just a little.
Saturday,
Just a little.
on Saturday when we were moving, so we were maybe an hour and a half into unloading the pod, and then myself and my two brothers, we left because I went to get a U-Haul and went to the storage unit to fill up the U-Haul with that, and then bring that back. Well, by the time I got back, they had finished unloading the pod and were already
Nice.
starting to put things away, which is awesome. But then I go into the front little dining room, what's going to be our formal dining area. And Stacy's already got the Christmas tree up. She's already decorating it to the
Aw,
nines. And I'm
that's-
just like, all right.
Oh, so they didn't get the
nice.
memo.
Yeah. I was like, it's better. In a way, it's better to do it now only because otherwise I'd be needing to do it
By
while
yourself.
she's gone. Yeah, by
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Because so every year for the last, I think this is the third year. So the last 2 years, on Stacy's side of the family, there's been this cousins Christmas where all of her cousins get together and have just like a cousin party.
Mhm.
Well, this year we're hosting it, but
Oh,
she's
there
not
you
going to
go.
be here. So I'm
Right.
hosting it.
Oh,
like,
no.
wow.
No way,
Oh,
Chris
no.
McCracken.
Oh yeah.
I will say
Believe
there's
me, I've
there's
said no way a couple times now, but it's not changed.
That's right.
I was like,
That's awesome.
and here's the
There's
thing:
no
it's
better
not
way,
that
though.
it's not that I don't want to do the party because it was going to be fun. And I actually last year when we were like, oh, we'll host, I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine, that's great. But
didn't know
I'm
you were
just not
moving and all
good
that
at
at
like
the time.
I've got to make all this food and I've got to make sure people are happy and I got to do this all solo and I'm like, I'm just nervous that something's going to go wrong.
Of course.
That is
Yeah,
that is one
so-
of the best ways though to get like the house ready is knowing that there's a deadline because you've got people coming. Like that's happened in our old house. It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got like a few little mini Christmas dinners that we're going to be doing. And so it's like, what better? That's kind of like, well, there's your motivation to kind of get this put together.
Yeah, and in
get it
terms
all
of
done.
undoing or unloading all of the different boxes and putting everything away, that's going to be great. I love that. It's just the
Yeah.
hosting the party and making
Yeah.
the dinner and all that is making me nervous. And Stacey's like,
Really?
you need to just let it go. It'll be fine. And my brother will help you and my cousin will help you. I'm like, I'm sure they will because they're nice people and they're great people. But I'm still nervous about it. So at the very least, I don't have to worry about putting up the Christmas tree because it's already done. So I mean,
There
at
you
least
go.
that
That's
it'll have a little bit of
And
Christmas
how do you
flair
feel
going
about it
whenever-
being up before Thanksgiving? Are you okay? You having heart palpitations?
Yeah, you all right by it?
I'm not having heart palpitations, but I don't want this to become a regular occurrence.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not one of you people.
I'm fine because in the past it's always been that Friday after Thanksgiving because we usually have that
Yep.
day off. That's the day like okay, let's put up everything we got, and that's always been the way it is. So this is just like a weird one-off, but I'm fine
Yeah.
with it. It'll be fine. It did give me so in our front formal dining room we have 3 windows. It's kind of like a little rounded and it has a window on each side. I said, okay, well, you can put the tree in front of that window, but I'm putting my blow up Santa hat wearing Darth Vader over here. And
That's right, you are.
I've got it up in the window. Of course, the dog hates it when I turn it on, so I can't leave it on for very long, but still,
That's awesome.
there's that.
I love it.
But that is pretty much it, I think, for me.
There you have it.
Nice.
Edward,
Edward.
Yeah,
you made some decisions this week,
Yes,
Yeah, you
he
did.
did.
I did.
and I want to hear all about it.
Well, I married this guy, Steve.
He stopped drinking coffee.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a nice week. I went out to San Francisco this weekend for some more voiceover goodness, and
Yeah, you did.
had a really good weekend. It went really, really well. I got to do a class, a one-on-one class with the woman who owns the school, runs the school, and it went really, really well.
Yeah,
Her name
man.
is Miss
It-
Voiceover.
Yeah, you cannot beat one-on-one time. That is for sure.
Yeah, and
What game are you going to be in?
Exactly.
It didn't go that well, but it
No,
went
oh.
it went pretty darn well. So yeah, it was just a really nice time. It was kind of cool to see a couple of the people that I've recognized from some of the classes now. One of the guys is a listener to Married to the Games.
What?
So,
Oh, nice.
yes.
Yeah, it was good
Hey,
to see you
listener.
again, Jeremy. Yeah, it was a good time. Router got to meet him when he came out for the class, and
Oh, right. That's right.
we've pretty much been in all this. Every time I've gone out for a class, he's been in the class, so it was nice to see him again and touch base. and just be out there. It was a long weekend of classes, so I go to the city and after the classes and just kind of, hit a coffee shop or two or what have you. And this time it was pretty much all day classes, go back to the Airbnb and just kind of crash. So it was it was nice. It was a good weekend. I kind of touched base with Chris McCracken a few times, just kind of feeling out that whole PSVR thing and seeing what his thoughts were, what's a good price, And so then on the way home from the airport, I stopped at Target and picked one up.
Yeah, what the heck?
Hey,
There you
what
go.
the- Look at that, man.
And it was funny because I went and I found the little PSVR area, and there was a guy standing there just kind of like looking at him. It's kind of like looking like we've all done, stare at it behind the glass case.
Yeah.
And
Stare in the box behind the glass case. Yeah.
exactly.
It's the prequel to stare at it in the box.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's the origin story.
That's right. And so we both kind of stared at it in the box, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm going to do this." They had their Black Friday sale was going on, and
Oh, good deal.
so I went and talked to the guy and said, "Hey, I wanted to see about one of those PSVR bundles." And he's like, "Oh yeah." This guy was excited because he had just gotten one like 3 days before.
Oh, the
yeah.
guy that working at Target?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
And so
I love
he
that.
went, unlocked the cabinet, and
Put white gloves on.
I know, right? Got the thing, and then I hear another Target guy go to the guy who was playing stare at it in the box behind the case with me. Was like, "Can I help you?" And the guy was like, "Oh, I want one of those too." And the guy goes, "Oh, that's our last one."
No.
Oh,
No.
look at you.
No,
Are you serious?
He stared at it too long.
I felt so
Stared at
bad.
it for too long
Yeah, that's right.
because he was there
He
before
who
you,
stares
right?
at it is lost.
Right.
You got to go or get off the pot, man. Go or
That's
get off
right,
the pot.
man.
Oh snap!
So he ended up getting, I think they had like a bundle that didn't have quite everything. So he got that plus like the wands or whatever separately or something. So he did end up getting what he wanted, but it was funny. But as I was checking out the guy working there, he was so pumped for the PSVR. He was the best salesman for it you could ever want to
Nice.
find. And he's like, "Oh, there's this one game and you can go underwater." And I was like, "No, wait.
Does
If
it
I'm
have
going
sharks?
underwater, does it have sharks?"
Exactly.
Oh, no.
And he goes, "No, there's no sharks. There's no sharks." And I was like, "Because if there are, I will come back to this Target location and I will say something to you." He's like,
I
"No,
will beat you."
no. You'll be having too much fun, man. It's so much fun. You won't even care."
You're like,
Yeah.
you don't know me.
You don't know me.
Exactly. I'm like, even if there are no sharks, I would spend the whole time thinking, "Is there a shark? I know there's going to be a shark."
The stress of wondering is gonna freak you out even more.
Exactly. So I got home at probably around 10 p.m. Sunday night and plugged it all in, hooked it all up, and sat down and put in the little, it's called VR Worlds, is the game that it came with. It has like 5 different games. One of them is the swimming one, the
Was there
London
sharks?
heist. I didn't try it.
Yeah, there's a shark. The whole point of it is to get down the bottom to a shark, so don't mess with it.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and because
Doggone it!
when I turned it,
You played that thing.
Oh, that would have been. I know that would have been amazing.
That'd have
right?
been better than the. That would have been better than the Until Dawn.
and I haven't tried any kind of demos PSVR at all ever. And so I put that hat on, the helmet. I'm going to call it a hat.
Okay.
Go for it.
And PSVR Worlds, just the loading when the game starts up and the menu, that's like the best demo you could ever ask for. I put it on
Oh,
and I was
very
just
cool.
like, whoa.
Because you're an old
And-
man.
I know, right? And you're in kind of like this chamber, and the 5 games that's on it, each game has a statue representing it. And there's a huge shark statue.
Oh, yeah.
And I swore so loud.
Oh, that is amazing.
I was so instantly angry at that
Dang
dude.
you, Target man!
Curse you, Target.
Shaking his coffee fist at the sky.
Oh,
Spilling
my
coffee all
gosh.
over everything.
But I am loving this
So you are hooked now,
this
right? You are
experience.
hooked.
Yeah, it's been. I picked up Batman for it as well, And then yes, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood is free on the
on PS Plus.
PS Plus this month, and picked that up, and I fear quit that thing real fast.
You know
That
what's
was
funny?
amazing.
You didn't seem that scared. It feels
No,
like you
you really
preemptively fear quit.
Oh, I was horrified.
Were you?
Yes.
Those
got a
those
great
little clown
scare
guys
face.
that run out at you are creepy.
And it is funny that because I've never, and even if I was standing over someone's shoulder watching them play VR, I still would be like, meh.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's just so crazy once you put that hat on.
Once you're
The
in there, it's
difference
different,
remains.
right?
I love that you call it a hat, by the way.
I've
isn't it
decided,
awesome?
I'm gonna call
I've
it
just
that from
decided
now
I'm
on.
gonna call it a hat. Like even in the menu for VR worlds, there's a spinning ball in front of you. When you're watching it and you don't have the goggles on, the hat on, and you're just watching it on the TV screen, it looks just kind of like a loading ball, just like a spinning ball or whatever. It's like, yeah,
Right.
no big deal. But when you've got the hat on, it is right there in front of you and you want to reach out and touch it. And it's just so different.
And you can move your
And-
head like to the left and right, and you're like looking around it, and that's
Right. And it's so crazy how much of a difference it makes. And I feel bad that, I mean, it took me this long to even want to try it, but I feel bad for VR that even you really don't experience it until you experience it.
Right.
And,
Mhm.
and especially for me, I was very meh, poo-pooed it and was like, yeah,
I'm the
I
same
don't know.
way. I'm the same way.
Also, the graphics, it turns out, are not like Lawnmower Man. They've gotten better.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
And that's another
Lawnmower
reason
Man.
I always put it off. I was
Oh,
like,
that
the
is
graphics
funny.
are horrible. They are not horrible. But yeah, and so saying that, playing Rush of Blood, it's just so crazy because I've watched a complete walkthrough of it,
Oh.
and so I knew what was
Wow.
coming, and it's so different when you are in there and you're in there, and it's nuts.
You know what's funny? It's so true because even when I did that thing for the community, I guess what is like a year ago now, where I did
Mhm.
the one in the Gear VR.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, the
You remember that?
bedroom scary
Yeah, that
kinda,
bedroom
scary thing.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I watched it back, I was like, "What was I so scared about?" But like when
Yep.
it's all that close,
Mhm.
you're like, "Oh, freak!" You know what I'm saying? Like it's,
Right.
it's definitely easier to be. So I can see how for you were scared in that thing, even though it wasn't like you were screaming. It was more like you were laughing, like ah, ha, 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 ha. And if you haven't watched the
Yeah.
video, everybody needs to go watch it and let that be number one instead of Hugh. But
Please.
because it's really great seeing you. Obviously, like the first just the menu starting up is like just a bunch of jump scares. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
But when you go into that room and all those clowns start running at you, it doesn't seem
Ugh.
like you're that scared enough to take it off.
I know, and I
But
watched
being
it
in
back.
there is different.
Yeah, it's definitely, even watching it back, it's like, really, I got that scared at that. And yesterday, my brother and my brother-in-law Nathan came over, and they both tried it. And Nathan is like me. He's like he is a big jumper.
Yes.
And my brother is not. He just kind of stood there, cool dude shooting. And so I actually played it some more. We went further on, and Nathan asked me, "Is it easier when there's people in the house?" Because I played it
Oh,
when I played
gotta
Rush.
be 100% easier.
Yeah, and I said, "Yeah," just because I can hear them laughing.
Yeah.
But it's funny because when I played Rush of Blood, it was Monday at like 1 PM, so it wasn't dark, but there's just something about that
Mhm.
aloneness that just makes it.
And you know what's
horrible.
funny is that in the video you say you're glad you're alone.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I know Nathan's gonna jump up behind me if he were here or something. I
Yeah.
still thought he would yesterday, but no, he did not. But
And
yeah,
not
it was
only
just-
that about the not the hearing other people and whatnot, but when you're by yourself too, and you use the earbuds, like it has
Oh,
3D
Lord, have
sound
mercy.
as well. Like
Mhm.
it's not just like surround sound.
Yeah.
It's like even more so than that. It's more intensified than that. And so if you hear a creepy little thing crawling on the ceiling or on the wall back behind you to the right, you know that's exactly where it's coming from, and you want to look
Wow.
because you're like, oh my gosh, I hear that.
Yeah. And I don't know, I don't understand 3D sound. It's just intense just because I can understand left and right, but how do I know? like you said, Chris, I hear something and it's like, okay, that was to my right and behind me.
Yeah,
Right.
or if it's above you or below you, you can
Yeah.
tell, you can sense
It's
where in
so
the three-directional space it is.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. It's amazing that you've become like such a believer, because I'm the exact same way. I'm like, meh. But I'm pretty sure that if I did the exact same thing that you just did, I'd probably be just as excited about it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
like
it
one of the
was-
things though about Ed's personality that I enjoy so much. Like he's able to enjoy things.
Oh, yeah.
Like sometimes,
That's usually a good thing.
yeah. And where my personality at times can decide that I'm not gonna like something and stick with that, even if I do enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Ed will try things out. He's very easygoing that
Yeah,
way,
Ed's good at enjoying,
which I
things.
love.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a strange mix of Ed and Gabe.
Yes.
There's definitely
was gonna
times where I'm
say that.
like, and then there's other times where I'm like, hey, let's see what's gonna happen. I'm not feeling this, but let's try it. I'm like a weird happy medium between the two of you
Yeah,
guys.
it's like selective for you. It's like I'll do it maybe if I feel like it.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
funny.
honestly, the reason that I can kind of get past it at times is because I enjoy having my mind changed. Even like in just when you're discussing a topic,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
like seeing another side, and all of a sudden a switch gets flipped. It's like, wait, now I see the opposite,
awesome.
perspective, and I feel differently now. I love it when that happens because you don't expect it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't run into that much.
Yeah.
Gabe, at least you know what you like.
There you go. I also played around with the Batman VR, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of jump scares I didn't anticipate.
Really?
Did you
Yeah.
finish the Batman thing?
I think it, like, the credits rolled and everything,
Okay.
and I was like, wait, that's how it ends? But then it's like you go back to the main hub, and I noticed that there were like, I unlocked 3 of like 15 characters. So I don't know if I can go back in and replay the story, or I'm a little
you can
confused.
replay some stuff, and there's also just like in the Arkham game, or at least the last Arkham game, Arkham Knight. I don't know about the other ones, but there's like Riddler trophy things that you can unlock and different things. The only reason I was asking if you made it to the end is because towards the end of the story, or at least the first part of first story, is there's this mirror that you can see, and I spent a good 25 minutes just flexing and doing all this crazy stuff.
I mean, if you look in that mirror and don't like make Batman dance, I don't know what's wrong with you.
That's awesome.
But
Oh, man.
yeah, it was fun. And then finally, this I think is the first week, and I don't know how long I didn't play Family Guy or The Simpsons because of South
Really?
Park Phone Destroyer. That's
there you go.
Wow.
that's been my game. So yeah, it was a good week.
Jeez
That's great, man.
Louise.
Good deal.
I like everything you talked about.
Yeah, and thank you, Chris, for answering all of my VR questions and what have you when I'm too lazy to ask Google.
He was
Yeah,
paying
sure,
you back
man.
for all the coffee questions the week before.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
that's
I guess I owe him.
He's like, it is Stacy's birthday, but I guess I'll answer these questions.
Yeah, I guess if I have to. So Ed, was the VR setup pretty easy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was pretty. The instructions were pretty straightforward, and
great.
so yeah, maybe took 20 minutes, I guess, just kind of because I go super instruction manually,
Yes.
and what have you.
You're so by the book.
I am.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, Mr. Patillo,
Yes.
hit us up. What you
Um,
got besides a cough?
Yeah, seriously, man. I got this freaking sore throat that won't quit. We did some shows this last weekend, which was awesome. It was nice to get back out there and perform for the people.
Yeah.
And so we went up to Indianapolis and played in where the Colts play at. Lucas Oil
Lucal.
something.
Luco.
Lucas Ham Swisher?
The Lucas Ham Swisher
Oil?
Stadium.
Stadium.
There needs to be one of those.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we were
Swisher
there.
Stadium. I like it.
Yeah, and got to play to 22,000 crazy Catholic kids,
Look
That's
at that.
right.
and it was really.
Were they impressed? I knew you were nervous.
They They were more impressed than I thought they'd be.
Yeah,
There you
man.
go.
But stay tuned for more on that.
Oh. All right.
But it was really fun. You know, doing youth events is great just because the energy is just so crazy. And so it was a good time going up there. And then we like came back for the day and then went to Pigeon Forge. And I think that's where I got sick, unless I was getting sick before that. But in Pigeon Forge, we had to do 2 shows. So, and our first show was like at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like 4:00 show. Then you kind of have like a 2-hour break, well, a 1-hour break before kind of the show gets cranked back up again. And then we did a 7:00 show.
Oh, wow.
And so I think it was just something about being excited and over singing and, you know, and then the same thing with the youth. It was another youth thing. And the second show, we had to earn it.
Really?
The first show,
really?
they just gave it to us. They're like, yeah, you're great. We're excited about you coming out here. The second group was like, it felt like they were the troubled teens.
Nice.
Like, I don't
Impressive.
even listen to this kind of music, man. You gonna have to do something.
Yeah, right.
Better catch something on fire quick.
That's right. Can you play Bad
I'm about to be
Emoji?
playing Grand Theft Auto on my phone.
Right?
Jeez.
So we ended up getting there, but it was definitely different. It was like different enough to where you could go backstage like, that was weird, right? That okay, all right. That was, not just me.
That's really cool. That's cool. You can feel that vibe.
Oh,
dude. Like,
you can
you've
feel
done
it because they're just staring
you've done
at
it
you.
long enough.
Do you like when
wow.
you have to earn it? Like, is it like a challenge? Like, I know we can get
how
these
do you
guys.
feel like that?
No, I don't like
No.
it.
No, I like you
Because we don't get to earn it like we used to earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so all the songs we do with Toby now, so when you have to understand, we did, even though I'm with Toby and he was in DC Talk, like there was still a growing period when he first went solo. And so I've gotten to take that ride with him from when he first went solo till now. And so when we used to have to earn it, it was like people didn't really know what to expect. We're not doing any DC Talk songs. That's kind of what they want to hear from him. But also the music was extra aggressive. And so we got to come out and like what we used to say is like, all right, let's go out there and kick him in the teeth. And so we used to go out there and be able to just get it, right? And be like, yeah, I don't care if you like it. Yeah, here's some water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so
Here's some water.
Here's some water. Drip, drip.
And so earning it like that. And then we did a tour with Third Day. And it was like
Totally
every
different
night
audience.
we had to earn it. Every night.
Yeah.
Where they're just staring at us. And then by the end of the night, they're just like, okay, I succumb. Okay.
You win.
Yeah,
You win.
Uncle. And so, but this one, now it's different because it doesn't feel so, it's not as aggressive. The music's not as aggressive. It's more like radio single based music.
Right.
And
It's more party music, isn't it?
yeah, and so it's more like, but then you have those little dips that feel like, okay, if I was a teenager, I wouldn't like this song.
Right.
Did they know the music?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, for the most part, I would think they all would have heard some of those songs, but it's not like everybody knows the album cuts. But like most of them are gonna know the singles, and then so it's different, but it's still like it still feels good to get there, but I don't enjoy the climb as much as I used to. But it's different, it's just different with youth.
Yeah.
I don't like giving the youth any kind of, all right, I'm gonna earn it from a freaking 15-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
Like what? That 15-year-olds don't barely deserve anything as it is.
Exactly. Yeah. And dude, that's it, man. That's just age, man. That's like, these 15-year-olds don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
So it was tough, but it was good, and it's slightly nice to know you still got it, and especially when you do a youth conference. Toby's crowd, like the group he brings when it says Toby Mac is coming to town, those people that come usually are parents and their kids and the parents' parents, right? So there's not we do miss that 15 to 27 that's a big gap for us.
Yeah.
That doesn't come with Toby shows. So, and this show was all of that gap. And so it's nice to still be able to entertain them in a way that felt genuine.
Right.
And you guys like changed up the sets and everything, right? Like
We take out some of the slow
to
stuff. Yeah, exactly. We're like, all right, let's not do that song.
Nice. That'll
Oh,
put everybody to sleep. All right, let's go next.
Exactly. So
That's so great, though, man.
yeah. So it was fun. It was a good time. There is a great story that comes out of it. Our fellow gamer Matt Marr,
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
or the Catholic Elvis.
Yes. The Catholic Elvis.
This is just the way the Lord works, right? So NCYC, like I said, 22,000 kids. He's the last night where, it's like, it's like they had our night, then his night. He's a big deal in the Catholic world.
Huge.
He's made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here they go. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Marr. He's got his guitar. Yeah, I'm coming from behind the stage and I jump over this. And he just bites it.
No.
Bites it.
No.
Hard.
No.
In the first 10 seconds of the show.
No.
He tries to jump over this riser and just all the way to the ground.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I have video
Poor
of it
guy.
on my phone. If I was in his
You
band, I would share it, but it's not my story to share on the
Right,
internet.
Right. Gosh.
No,
But
no.
you could probably find it.
I'm sure you could.
Oh,
poor dude.
man.
Was he okay?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
So he didn't cut himself or anything,
Oh,
but
man.
he is a bleeder, so he bruises
Oh,
really
yeah.
bad.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
sure.
And so he has got like go to the
So he
ER and
didn't
stuff.
He didn't. No, he,
He
didn't
did?
really.
Yeah, like like the next day he went.
Oh, okay.
So he finished the show, and of course, the big joke about when you're on stage is you spend all this time trying to talk the crowd into you being cool, and then you fall down, and then it takes you 45 minutes to get back to where you were.
Yeah.
right.
That's what you think, at
Oh.
least in your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're like,
Yeah.
shoot, man, now I got to freaking earn it. And so
Yeah.
I texted him yesterday. I said, so I heard Scarlett took a tumble. And if you haven't seen Scarlett Takes a Tumble on YouTube, please go watch it.
yes.
He knew what I was talking about. It's this black girl.
Yeah.
She's singing. She gets up on the
Oh.
table. She shouldn't have got up on the
Table
table.
and
Oh,
And the table
okay,
totally
yeah.
gives way.
So it is so
Yeah,
great.
she steps to
It's
the edge and like
probably one of it's just
bounces.
it's perfect. I laughed so hard when I saw that.
Oh,
First saw
man.
that.
So
Oh,
go watch Scarlett Takes a Tumble after you watch Matt Marr falling down at NCYC 2017.
exactly. YouTube.
And so I texted him. I said, so I heard Scarlett took a tumble, and he called me. And we were just going back and forth. I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm all right." I was like, "Your guitar's okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, your wrists, everything's all right." I mean, he fell hard.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
And like our guitar player has fallen like that before and totally snapped the neck of his guitar. So,
Oh,
but he was like, "Yeah, I was
poor
fine."
Matt.
I was
Oh.
like, it's funny the way the Lord works because, here you are, like the prince of the Catholic Church.
right.
And when it comes to music and you fall down in the first 10 seconds of your show, I said, funny enough, I said, the woman who is now my wife, when we first started dating, Jenny came to her first show as my girlfriend. Same exact thing happened.
Is that right?
Oh, right at the top of the
really?
show. I fell so hard, I like slid into the side speakers and like my body like curled up it. Like, like how am I sitting up all of a sudden? How'd I create that much
Wow.
inertia that I'm sitting up?
Wow.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
we love you, Matt. No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So anyway,
Dang.
Holy cow.
as far as
Poor guy.
yeah, exactly. On the gaming front, NBA 2K18 and a lot of the dancing game.
I believe
Yeah,
that.
it's always weird when I'm on the Xbox to see blink, Gabe's playing dance, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
On the Xbox?
Exactly. It's more like Amara and Remy are playing.
Yeah.
Guest 1 and 2.
That's right.
It's funny because I don't, because we first played the Just Dance demo on the Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Remy calls it 2-switch.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
why, but somehow he's made that correlation. Like the Nintendo's called the 2-switch, but that's turned into that game's called 2-switch. So every now and then he'll call it 1-2-switch, but most of the time he just calls it 2-switch. So it'll be like, Daddy,
That's hilarious.
Daddy. He has this thing lately where he's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. He'll kind of take your face and turn it towards him. Daddy, look at me, look at me, look at me.
That's hilarious.
Can I play 2-switch? Can I play 2-switch? And I'm like,
Aw.
yeah. And so obviously with Cortana and the Kinect, it's a lot easier than it would be normally. But he just loves it. So we owned 2016 or 2015 Just Dance. And so I'll probably for Christmas time or something, get them 18. But they go back and play them songs, Uptown Funk and
Of course.
Ariana Grande. So it's a lot of songs on there they like too. But I think they'd obviously like the new stuff as well. So, and I don't know what the song list is for 18, but they're gonna love it regardless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Oh, today, Thanksgiving Eve, Amara's going over to my grandmother's or her grandmother's, my mom's house, to help set up for tomorrow. And my mom's been hosting the last couple of years, so we'll all descend on Jackie's house.
Nice.
Very nice.
So it'll be good. Yesterday, I dug a trench for this electrical to go out to the shed.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Ooh, all right.
That is no joke.
That is not fun. At all.
That machine is heavy, number one. And number two, it's like going through the hardest clay on the planet. Our ground is so hard here. Everything I watched on YouTube, I was like, oh, you just pull it down and just drag it. No
It's
problem.
slices and dices.
Yeah,
Nope.
exactly. Set it and forget it.
That's
That is not the case.
How far down does it have to go?
18 inches, and I had the trenches 35 feet long. So it's not a long way to go, but when you're like muscling the thing the whole time.
Yeah, you have to. That Tennessee clay, man, I swear.
Yes,
Ugh.
and because the ground's so hard, sorry, I'm talking a lot. But because the ground I know I'm talking like I ain't got a cough. Because the ground is so hard, when I first did the whole trench, it only cut it 12 inches for whatever reason. And I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I gotta like wheel it back up and like, I really had to like tip it up. It wasn't like, cause everything in the instructions is like, tip it down, it cuts 18 inches. I was like, cool. So I got halfway through and I was like, man, let me just measure. And it was only at 12 inches or 13. I was like,
oh man,
I need another half a foot. And so I had to go back and do it. And just, my back today is like,
I bet.
we see you, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, mistreat us.
Muscles I didn't even know I had.
Exactly. Like under my shoulder blades are like.
Yeah. That old pulsing. You've been there, man. Totally.
So,
It's like, hey, I'm a muscle. You don't remember me. I'm here. Hello.
It's like,
Exactly.
Hey.
yeah.
I don't feel so good.
Get that ibuprofen out, Doc.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, struggling with that, but it's gonna be all right. Cut it. Electric gets put in today, so it'll be a good.
And then we
time,
can be
hopefully.
shed buddies with electricity.
That's right.
There it is.
I mean, the crazy thing is so we were unloading the pod, and our garage isn't much bigger than our previous one, and Stacy's like, I really don't want to put as much stuff as in the attic as we had before, at least till I go through it, because there was stuff there she didn't realize we had. Stacy doesn't go in the attic because she's allergic to the insulation stuff.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
I
really?
pretty much just handle all of the anytime we need to get something in or out of the attic, just because even breathing it can be an issue for her. So
oh, poor thing.
So when we were
Convenient.
unloading the house, she's like, I didn't know we had all this stuff. She's like, I'm going to just keep some stuff in the shed. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean with the shed? You mean my thing I'm going to turn into my place, right?
Whoa.
And she's like, look, just for a little bit. And I'm like, all right. But I'm so afraid. I'm like, man, we're going to get comfortable with that. And it's just going to get loaded up with this crap. Because it's going to be, a good couple years before I have that shed the way I want it. And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
You're gonna have things in the shed. Christmas lights up in July.
That's right.
So I'm just keeping an eye on things. I'm like, all right, it's cool. Once she goes through it and knows what's what, then it's up in the attic it goes.
Right.
I mean, you
That's
hope.
funny.
But that's also, I realized, I was like, oh, this, if I ever get her a really awesome present or something like that, I'm just put it in the attic. She ain't gonna go find it there.
Oh yeah.
That's right. There you go.
Good to
Oh
know.
no, I just gave away my secret because she listens to the show. She's gonna be layering up, putting on masks. Let's go.
Yeah, he's just gonna have a hazmat suit on going in there.
What can
That's
we
awesome.
find?
Yeah, try to get into the upside down. All right, that's it for me. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All
Yeah.
right, that's it.
Router,
Yes,
you got it?
I want to say I got it, but I'm just gonna say yes. I always want to say
I was
I got
expecting
it.
the iTunes thing, the way the audio. I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, I usually say let's do it,
Yeah. I
and then
usually
you say let's do it.
let's do it! Oh, I made
Nice transition.
Nice, dude.
You made it. Well
Voice
done.
is holding out.
it. It is.
That was good.
I got two more of
It's gonna be
those.
good. You got
I'm
it.
not
You
going to be able to
got
talk
it.
to
You
anybody for the rest of the day, but that's fine.
You got
How you
this.
doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Get down off
That's
that.
awesome.
Get down off of that.
Remy, get over here.
no 1-2
All right,
switch
anyway.
right now.
Stop trying to light that match.
That is
1-2
scary.
Daddy, 1-2 switch. All right, let's do this. New releases this week is actually very light compared to previous weeks, just because it's the holidays and you know how this goes. Assassin's Creed Origins: The Trials of the Gods DLC is out though, and did I hear it's free somewhere? Like
I
it's
feel
in
like I
game.
read that too. Like it's just part of it, but maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
I think
I don't
it
know.
might be part of it. So that is out. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild Explorers Edition for the Nintendo Switch. Stick it to the man for the Nintendo Switch, and Axiom Verge Multiverse Edition for the Switch, PS4, and Vita. Ladies and gentlemen, NPD for October. Let's get it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Total video game spending in October, which includes hardware, software, and accessories, fell 11% versus last year.
Oh no!
Everybody's waiting for those
825
sales.
It met Mars.
Yeah, at 825 million. It Matt Mars. Nice.
No, I love you, Matt Mar. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Gains. That was good. Gains in hardware spending were offset by the declines in software and accessories. So hardware was probably up, but just low gaming sales and accessories probably negated that. So here we go. Total 825 million, down 11% from 932 million last year. Hardware was up 10% at 238 million.
Interesting.
Console software was down 20% at 447 million. PC software was down 29% at 27 million. Accessories down 7%, 113 million. I think this goes to show like what games come out at certain times, because I mean, what wasn't there like one or two games that probably last year that were very anticipated, and that probably, I mean, I can see how it would fluctuate every year, especially around the month of October, because October is kind of that sweet spot. So
Well, what's weird about it being down was that last year I felt like it was down because everything had been out for a minute. You know,
Yeah.
hardware and everything. I think we said that last year. And so it's interesting that it's down even. I mean, it's not that weird that it's down even further, considering there's not nothing new to buy except for the Xbox One X and S.
Right. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that's the hardware, the up 10% is probably because of that anyway. Well, no, I'm sorry. Wait, the One X came out in November though, right? So it wouldn't be that. It would be.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it came out in
would
November.
be,
That's right.
So October would be probably One S and PlayStation 4. But I think you're right, Ed. I think there might be some early Christmas shopping going on. People are probably doing a few deals to get some inventory cleared before, Black Friday and all those times too. So yeah, retail is an interesting thing. You could really dive into all the data on it. But let's get to the top games for the month of October. Number 10, Forza Motorsport 7. Number 9, Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
Nice.
Number 8, Madden NFL 18, of course. Number 7, WWE 2K18. Number 6, FIFA 18.
Oh, really?
Number 5, Number 5, NBA 2K18.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
There you go.
That's right.
Number 3, Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, wow. Good.
Number 2, Assassin's Creed Oranges.
Oh, wow.
Get your citrus on.
That's right. And the number 1 game, Shadow of War.
Oh,
look at that.
nice.
There you go.
Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed Origins are the top of the chart, and both are beating out their predecessors. Shadow of War fared better than Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor, selling 20% more during its launch month. Origins also surpassed the sales of previous game in the franchise, including Syndicate. So Ubisoft was the best-selling publisher in October thanks to Origins, South Park, Ghost Recon, and Rainbow Six Siege.
Well done.
So,
Jeez Louise.
so Ubisoft put the smack down in October for everybody.
Yeah, they did.
So
They said, hold my purse.
that's
Right.
That's
Wow.
awesome. Yeah, so that was great. So, man, yeah, it's exciting, and I cannot wait to see what November has too. We'll see if a lot of these stay up there and people continue to buy them as Christmas presents or not. But we shall see.
Yeah, November had them big games come out, though, boy.
Yeah, exactly. That's interesting. I have a feeling that November will be up because of all the games that are out in November, and you have the Xbox One X. So I have a feeling spending will definitely be up. I'm really curious. So, Gabe, we talked about this in the previous episodes about the S versus the X confusion.
Yeah.
I wonder if S sales are going to be we're going to see a spike in S sales versus X sales. So
it
we'll have
all
to see.
depends, too, on how these deals come down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's very true.
I don't see the X going on sale, but I see the S maybe going on sale.
Yeah.
And so,
like an extra 50 maybe or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that'll probably, mess with it a little bit as well.
Even if the name wasn't, slightly confusing, you would see the S like jumping up on the holiday season simply because, it's the cheaper of the two. It's like you said, with the X coming out, just having launched, it's not going to be, unless some retailer just wants to do it, but Microsoft themselves is not going to be cutting the price of the X.
No.
For the holiday season at all.
Yeah,
so,
no, not at all.
Even if it was like the Xbox Ultimate and the Xbox One S, you would still see that the S is going to greatly jump. And even Microsoft has said since the beginning, they're like, look, we know that the Xbox One X is not going to be like a leader of sales for us. The S is going to be the main selling console. This is just for, the hardcore.
The X is for our hardcore
Well, I
gamers.
think, though, too, that 4K isn't rolling off the tongue like 1080p has in the last couple years. Like, I don't think everybody.
Contrary to what Chris thinks.
No. I think that people that know and they've dug into it obviously know.
Oh, sure.
Like me and Chris knows. I've been doing my homework on it as well. But I don't think it's as widely understood as 1080p is. Okay. So to the masses. So when you say I want a 4K television, there's so much more that goes into that than it feels like went into I want a 1080p television or an HD television. Yeah. And so, just the differences between Samsung and everything, the way they're naming things, I think is for the consumer is very confusing. And so
I agree.
With it not being everywhere yet, I think that'll also halt, or slow down the X's sales just a little bit in the sense of like, if a kid wants it and the parent's like, I'm going to put this in your room, you don't have a 4K television in your room. Like they might just see the 4K and know that, well, we don't have one of those TVs. You don't have one of those in your room. Let's get the S. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could be for a small percentage.
I
don't know.
That's good.
But I think this time next year, I don't think barely anybody will have a 1080p television anymore that's a tech head,
I think you might be right, yeah. I mean, as long as the price keeps coming down, which it is.
Man, I've seen some cheap TVs. Now I'm a little uppity, so I'm probably not going to buy a 45-inch television, but I've seen some 45-inch 4K HDR 10s that were a lot cheaper than I thought they'd be.
Yep.
Yeah, if I hadn't just purchased a house, my plan all along was this holiday season I was going to have probably at least 2 4K televisions, replace the 2 we have in the house, but I bought a house instead. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's the better it's the better thing to buy, that's for sure.
It is.
Yeah. I think so in the long run.
Do we have any oops?
Yes, we do.
Doggone
Over
it.
on Twitter at dspin67. Oh, Gabe, gotta oops you, man. NBA seasons are 82 games, not 85. LOL. Yep, it's all good. And then we got a slew
Fake
of
fan.
Dr. Pepper's not owned by Pepsi or Coke, and Mark Q at Tufus. Dr. Pepper is not owned by Pepsi or Coke. It's owned by DPS, the Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. It sounded like Chris was going to correct you, but didn't. Maybe he took offense to the way you called him out on the pets question. I like that.
I don't care.
Okay. Whatever. And then over on Discord, Stump Water Jack, L.A. Noir is set in the late 1940s. I was going to let it slip, but the time period is kind of vital to the plot. And thank you to at Video Games for remembering that we saved the president.
That's right, we did. Bad dudes. We're bad.
There it
On
is.
the Dr. Pepper thing, like I'm glad that Mark caught that. I was totally gonna jump in there and be like, no, that's not correct. But I was like, hang on, let me check this. And then the show ended, and we had a long discussion.
Yeah, we did.
We had a
what's funny
super
about-
long
You know what's
discussion.
funny about that, Chris, is I could hear you cutting in, and so
Yeah.
I moved in the edit. I moved them all so they would be better heard because they were covered up by
Oh.
talking. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want people to know that Chris knew that there was something fishy going on. So
There you go.
usually
Good
where I
job.
take that kind of stuff out, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave in his. I don't.
Like
Yeah.
before, man, I should have just committed and gone full force. I shouldn't have hesitated, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
The power of editing that Gabe wields.
Yes, that's right.
All right, that's it for me. Back to you guys.
Chris McCracken.
So we had mentioned last week about some of the craziness that's going on with Star Wars Battlefront. And I know that the game is actually out now, but it's like,
Jeez Louise.
it's just kind of been a huge roller coaster for this game. So on the eve of the game actually launching, EA put out a statement, or I guess DICE did, but they came out with a statement from the general manager of DICE. And it said that they were basically suspending microtransactions indefinitely until they can get all the system worked out in a way that's fair and, fair to most of the people anyways. So for the time being, microtransactions, the ability to pay for things in the game, is turned off. You can only earn things through regular gameplay. Stuff is still tied, as I understand it, through you still have to earn them through the loot boxes in game, but you can't buy extra ones, or you can't purchase anything else in the game with real money. Now, the key thing here is that it is temporary. They are planning to bring it back at some point, but right now, until they, quote, get the system right to where people feel like it's fair and not, overbearing, they're kind of suspending it. And there's been a lot of speculation and, quite frankly, rumor, so this is unsubstantiated as far as I'm aware, but there's been a lot of talk about that they think that a CEO or somebody really high up at Disney kind of like called over to EA and was like, no. You got CNN reporting that this Star Wars game's got all these issues. We're not having this. You need to cut these out for now and get this fixed. Because it's kind of crazy if you think about it, because CNN, not known as a hard-hitting video game reporting site.
What do you mean?
They're over here like having stories about Star Wars Battlefront and people being up in arms about microtransactions and all this craziness. And you know that Star Wars and Disney is not wanting to have any of that mess around their major franchise, Star Wars. So I don't know that actually happened, but a lot of people
That's
have
what
been
everybody's
reporting
attributing
that.
it to is Disney.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's weird because some of the stories are reporting it as though like it's a known fact now, but then when you read down the stories, it's like it's more like kind of like hearsay and like through the grapevine hearing stuff. None of it's like officially being said from an official source that they could quote. But it would not surprise me at all if that's the way that it went. And
I think that's exactly it. They've got a movie coming out in less than a month, and everything is focusing on that, and all the hype is focusing on that. So anything Star Wars related and anything that's got any issues, they're going to shut that down.
And the craziest thing about this is like Star Wars is arguably the biggest nerd franchise, sci-fi franchise out there. And I don't know what it is, but it's like outside of Knights of the Old Republic, they just cannot do video games without there being some kind of issue or problem or having to get shut down or whatever. I mean, 1313 got shut down, Visceral got shut down, and their game's not going to happen. Star Wars Battlefront came out last year, and I really enjoyed it, but a lot of people were like, oh, we want single player. And then this year they give single player, but then they go and screw up all the multiplayer stuff with all this. It's like, oh my gosh, why can somebody just not Just make a cool Star Wars game and let it be everybody love it because everybody wants to love it so bad.
You know, it might be all the cooks. You know what I'm saying? Well, and that isn't the case for back in the day. But I mean, definitely now with Disney around and stuff like that. I mean, you get a lot of cooks in the kitchen, man, and it's hard to come out with one good smelling thing. You know what I'm saying? If you send a pot around just to the four of us and we each added something without necessarily talking to each other, it's going to come out like some awful microtransactions.
Yeah. I mean,
so here's a question. Do you think EA is the scapegoat for every other developer in this? Do you think they're being treated unfairly?
No.
Or is this is this legit? Like this is very intentional and they should be called out for
EA's been given a hard time for a long time.
Yes.
And
right.
They're one of those, they're one of those places like, and I don't know if it's because they're so successful or because they make so much money, but they're very easy to target. And it seems like their things, when they go wrong, get a lot of airtime. And so I don't know if
like Comcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like,
kind of.
But this to the same way, remember how like we used to talk about it was like in the top 5 worst places to work for a while.
Yeah.
And so like, just things like that you continually hear. And, I think almost like any huge company, but at the same time, you're like, man, but you don't hear this about Apple or Microsoft all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like they get given a really hard time. So you've got to think that they're not doing something right all the time.
Right.
So the thing with EA or let's say Battlefront in particular. So ever since Overwatch kind of dropped, and there's been some other games that had loot box-esque like kind of things, but they were the one that was probably the most popular right off the bat, and they had a loot box system. And if you look, like everybody else has just been watching, observing, seeing how successful that is, and then adopting and changing to whatever their business model type is. And this year in particular is where like the whole loot box / microtransaction thing is kind of hit ahead. Like it's almost every game that's come out, the big AAA I'm talking about, has had some type of loot box-ish system or microtransactions in some way. And everyone that's come out, well, not everyone, but most of them that come out, like some do it a little bit differently and some like push the envelope maybe a little further and push it maybe a little bit further. And so they're all testing and kind of seeing what is acceptable and what are gamers going to kind of accept. And EA is the first one that's come out and been like crazy egregious about it. Like they did it absolutely the wrong way. Now I've said on the show before, and like I don't mind loot boxes or microtransactions. I feel like there's ways that it can be done and be done right. And done in a way where like, look, the people that really want this, they can get this, but it doesn't necessarily give them an advantage over somebody else in a competitive standpoint. It's just, if Joe wants to spend a lot of money down the street to make his single player stuff better or because he wants every skin in the game, so he's going to buy all these loot boxes that give him the skins, like that's his prerogative. And it's not affecting Tim down the street. Yeah, hopefully. But it's not affecting Tim down the street who's not spending that money. And in a way, you could argue that Tim down the street's reaping the benefit of that because, like on a game for like Overwatch, for instance, no other content that's coming out for it is pay. You don't have to pay. You get new characters, you get new maps. Nobody has had to pay at all for that, and a lot of that is kind of being brought to them because they're making money through their loot box system. So Tim down the street, who's never bought a loot box at all, is still getting free content when all he paid was his $60 or whatever for the game.
Right.
But the thing is that Battlefront, out of all the ones that have come out this year, they were the most like in your face about if you spend this money, you're going to get competitive advantage right away. And all the other stuff was like so high priced that it's like you really were incentivized. Like, look, there's almost no way to accurately do this unless you just devote your life to this game without spending real money. And so EA's had to pull the reins. It seems like for whatever reason, EA is always, and maybe it's because a lot of their games come out right towards the end of the year, but they always seem to be the ones that are like, take it that one step further where, all the cards, fall and the house of cards crumbles. And I don't know if it's just their lot and it just happens to be where they fall in when they're releasing their game or if they're really that bad and they're, I just don't know. I don't know why it falls to them, but it seems like they're always the ones that are taking it that one step too far. And that gets people really crazy.
Yeah, so it's tough because people always say in retail, you push it to the max, then you bring it back a little bit.
Yes.
right?
Right.
You try to see how much you can get, and then you draw it back. And it just seems like they jumped into a party that they didn't know how the party worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, have you
Yeah.
guys seen those those clubs that hand out only headphones?
Yeah.
And so they're called silent parties or something like that, where everybody's dancing to the same song, but if you were to look, it's silent because everybody's got headphones on.
Mhm.
And it's like EA saw that going on and showed up with a speaker system. Like, right, guys, this is how we do this. And they're like, what are you doing?
Right.
No, what are you doing? Look at all the attention you've golly. And now the internet's talking about loot box. Now it's gambling and blah, blah, blah. You know
And
what
the
I'm saying?
neighbors are complaining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
exactly.
police have been called. What are you doing? So that's what it feels like.
That's a great analogy. Yeah.
Happened with EA, and it sucks, but it's like it was gonna happen to somebody. Somebody was gonna push it too far and have somebody pay for something that wasn't fair. You know what I mean? So what are you gonna do?
Who knows?
Let's see. What do I have? I thought this was very weird, and I did not know this. So I'm gonna need everybody to hop in a time machine with me
Okay.
and head
Done.
back. Well, you don't even know where we're going yet before you did a little loop.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
Golly.
That's how
Thank
people get
you.
stuck in the dinosaur world.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Jeez.
You gotta be careful with these things, man. You know how much this was?
I just assumed you were putting in the coordinates. I'm just turning on the car. That's all.
Oh, that's the sound the car makes when it comes on. Gosh,
In my head.
Elon Musk only made me one of these things.
Gotcha.
So let's go back to the PlayStation 2 era.
Okay.
I'm out.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
We lost Tim.
Yep, I'm gone.
And we're there.
Oh, Tim's still back in
Wow.
2017. Oh, he'll be fine. We'll get him when we come back.
Yep.
So imagine
Remember me.
you're starting up your PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoa.
And all the things are swirling around.
Yeah.
There's those towers that are coming at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine you go over to your friend's house and you start up his PS2.
Mm.
And you're like, if you're a sleuth, unlike us, or unlike me, I'm not, you might notice, man, his startup screen looks different than mine.
Hmm?
Those towers look different. Well, it's come out, and some people knew this, I did not know this, that those towers that they showed,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of towers meant how many games you had played that was put into that was on the memory card that was in the PS2, and how tall the towers were was how long you played said game.
No way.
I didn't know that either.
So some people had a couple towers that were really long. Some people had a bunch of towers that were short. Some were really long. And so
Wow.
it's come out this week that those actually were kind of an Easter egg that they never talked about.
Wow. Really?
And now I
That's
want to
really
boot up my
interesting.
PS2 and see how many
You have
towers
to put a memory
I got.
card in. So it says
I got one.
the startup screen on PS2 showed different amount of towers based on how many games you played, and the height showing how long you played said game based on memory card. So
Wow.
go test it out. It's crazy. So people are starting to post their startup screens, and just like you're seeing, there are a bunch of different patterns because everybody's is different.
That's really cool.
It's
That's
interesting.
funny.
I did not know that.
Me either. See, the more you know. Chris, what else you got? dog?
So-
Shoot. We got to get back to 2017. Hurry.
And we're back.
Oh,
Hey, Router, what's
thank
up?
Hey,
you.
guys.
Good. Router.
How was your journey?
it was good,
great,
man.
Good.
We
good.
saw towers. Some were big, some were small, depending on who did it. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
great.
I hope we
Awesome,
didn't change anything.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, my
no.
dog only has 3 legs.
Matt Marr didn't fall down.
I am a robot.
When it rains,
I
it's
am
actually
a robot.
donuts falling from the sky.
Yay.
Jim is a robot.
Would you like to play a game?
Oh, man. Go ahead, Chris.
So Marvel Heroes, also sometimes, depending on where it's played, is known as Marvel Heroes Omega. It was a game, like kind of like a, I think it was MMO-ish if you look at it that way, but it was a game where you could play as all these different Marvel heroes in this shared
Oh,
universe. It's
Yep.
shutting down,
Oh,
which is kind of crazy because it's another game that Disney's got his hand in. There's like, and this is going to go away. Now, apparently their contract just ended with the developer Gazillion Entertainment, who I've never heard of them before, but I don't know if this means they're going to find a new developer to make a better game, or they just somehow had a rocky relationship. I don't know any specifics as to why they're deciding to do it, because apparently it was doing fairly well. And I know it only recently, I think in the last year, came to consoles. But there are some people, this is where we can kind of get into more talk about microtransactions, but there's some people who are pretty upset because they've sunk a lot of money into this game, and to hear that it's just shutting down and they're starting to demand refunds. Now, there was one guy on the PC side, actually on the Xbox side, that sunk $400 worth of microtransactions into the game. And I kind of see his point a little bit, only because, as I said, I think the game's only been on console for about a year. But I mean, at the same time, like, even though I've mentioned before, like, I don't have a huge issue with microtransactions, you also have to know when you're going in with any game that is online only, you have to understand at some point
it's going to be shut down.
those servers are going away. Yeah. So, I mean, even though this does seem like crazy fast considering how soon it came out, it's like, I'm sorry that you felt the need to spend $400, but it's not really, he kind of knew,
And it was free to play.
Yes, it was free to play.
Oh,
The thing
right.
is that the game, so it was free to play, but you could spend microtransactions in order to unlock characters and unlock things sooner.
Right.
If you didn't want to grind out the material or the in-game currency that you wanted in order, and then the level that you had to get to, I think, to unlock, certain characters. So like this person in particular has spent
it just came out in June.
But I believe that's only for console. I believe it had been on
for
PC
console.
for a while.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, but what you were saying was not even a year. It's like not even a couple. It's only been a couple months.
Well, it may have
Wow.
been. I feel like it may have been like a staggered release. I think it may have come out on PS4 before it did Xbox. I could have that wrong, but I feel like I remember seeing stuff earlier this year about like, oh, Marvel Heroes Omega is on PS4, and then I think it may have come just to Xbox in July. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like that's what my gut is telling me from what I remember. But regardless, yeah. So like this person in particular spent $400 so that they could unlock characters like Spider-Man, Storm, Captain America earlier than if you were to just grind out the currency and pick the character that you wanted to have. Yeah.
Wow.
Now there is a little bit of an update to this.
They're like,
this,
well, they did unlock. You got what you paid for.
well, that's true. And
That's
and
true.
The crazy thing is that the person is not so much complaining that they spent the money or whatever. They're really just talking about, he's like, I don't feel like I got my time worth out of the money that I spent, which is a slightly different way to spin it. But I mean, regardless, he's complaining. So, it is what it is. And it seems that on Marvel Heroes players who own the game on the Xbox are reporting that Microsoft is offering a 90-day grace period for refunds for any time that they spent on microtransactions.
90 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a long time, Doc.
There's at least, and that update on this article right now is only mentioning Xbox. So I'm assuming that's not extending, at least at the moment, to the PS4 side. And I haven't really seen like a ton of issues about it on the PC side. I'm sure there's people that are upset over there too. I mean, it is a bummer because from what I heard of the
PC
people
for forever though.
yeah, but from the people that I've heard that have played it, and I know a couple of people like Drew in our community was playing it there for a while on PS4, I believe, and seemed to really be enjoying it. So it's kind of a bummer that it doesn't sound like it's ending because of player fall off necessarily. It seems to be ending simply because this contract is up with this developer and Disney, and for whatever reason they're not happy with them or they don't want to continue. I mean, I don't know what the actual reason as to why they're shutting it down, but I mean, I would have to think that at the end of the day, it wasn't making enough money for Disney to be like, this is worth us to continue doing. But I hadn't heard, all I had heard was positivity out of the people who played the game. So it is a bit of a bummer to see it going away. But yeah, if you play any online only game, and you pay microtransactions, you need to understand that at some point this game's going away and your microtransactions mean nothing anymore. So
That's
just
right.
Be aware of what you're getting yourself into, and then have
How
fun.
long do you think people should expect the game to be around? Like, what do you think is reasonable for the reasonable
Longer than
amount
6
of time
months.
to pass? Yeah, because I feel
Yeah.
like that's really short still.
Yeah, I agree. It is short. And I mean, I still don't know why it is, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those buyer beware kinds of things. Like if you buy a
Right.
sandwich and then take a few bites and then the sandwich place shut down, well, you can't return the sandwich. Be like, I didn't get my money's worth of my sandwich. It's like, well, it's one of those situations where you just gotta kind of,
Right.
you just gotta kind of understand what you're getting into before you do it and know the risks that you're running.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I
I
agree that
remember-
it sucks.
I was at Borders Bookstore when they were still around,
Yeah.
and they were pushing me hard to buy their membership.
Oh,
And I still said no. And I was like, no. They were like, no, come on. You get this and get this. And the next day they shut down.
No
Oh
way.
my gosh.
Yeah. And I was like, they were still trying to get me to pay for a membership
must have had
they
a
knew I
bet
wasn't
going
going to
on.
use. Yeah.
That's jacked up. Well, I've tweeted about this girl before. Chrissy Teigen. She is one of the hosts on Lip Sync Battle, and she's
Yeah.
married to John Legend.
Yeah.
And she likes to tweet out gaming stuff, which I
Mhm.
love. I don't know why it caught me so off guard that she would be a gamer, but
Mhm.
she is. She tweeted out about, I forget what she was asking for help on a couple months ago, but she just kind of like gets on Twitter and will be like, I mean, with a bunch of other stuff, but the gaming stuff is like 5% of it, but it's just fun to see her jump on there and be like, hey, can y'all help me out? Oh, she was asking about Mario Kart. She was like, I can't get 3 stars for some strange reason. And she's like, I'm getting first place and everything like that. So people are helping her out. And then the other day, she shows a quick video of her sitting courtside at the Warriors game,
Mm-hmm.
Warriors basketball, who Ed was in NBA 2K18 and not using them to their full potential.
30 and 11.
There it is.
30 and 11. And
Always.
Yeah. And so she's sitting there like on the court and she's like kind of got her camera out and she like slowly pans down to her lap and she's playing Mario Odyssey. Wow. Sitting
It was
there
awesome.
at the game. And you're like, yeah, Chrissy Teigen. And so, and then she goes on Twitter and she's asking questions about how to beat this, how to beat that, and stuff like that. And so I just thought that was really cool. And then people like, haters gonna hate, right?
Uh-huh.
So people are like, I
Always.
couldn't afford them tickets and you gonna sit there and play Mario Odyssey. Well, it's like, everything ain't for everybody, brother. And she goes, it's called multitasking. Like I can play
Ooh, I
video
love
games
that. Funny.
and be at the Lakers game. So I love that. Thank you, Chrissy Teigen, for listening to the show, number 1, and for number 2.
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be
Making gamers look
nuts if
good.
she's like tweeting out, hey, I found this gaming podcast. They mentioned me. That's cool.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
That's not gonna happen. Chris, you got anything else?
Yeah, the last thing that I have, so Bloodborne is a game that's been around for a little while now. And it came out, so in the 2014 PlayStation experience, it was just right before the game had actually launched. They did this little play demo on the stage, and they showed this boss fight. There was this big kind of guy. He was walking around. He had these big blades for hands, and one of them was like on fire, and he would like strike the ground, and this flame would go flying out.
Oh yeah, blades for hands.
Oh, Blade for Hands,
yeah,
the
yeah.
undead. Yeah, he was there.
Edward Blade for hand.
Edward Blade for Hands. And then, so a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, this demo is so cool. That boss looks so amazing. And then nobody ever found it in the game. They're like, oh, that must have been like just a demo thing. And that boss was never actually part of the game. It was just made for that demo. But this month, they actually found a secret hidden chalice room where they found that boss 3 years
Oh.
after the game had launched.
Wow.
They still had not
What?
found
Oh,
it
wow.
yet. Yeah, so I always think that this is really, really cool because I know a lot of stuff like this happens in the Dark Souls games and games like that, which Bloodborne is from the same developer. It's a very similar kind of genre and take on things. I love how that they can constantly play things, and other games that it happens to as well. And there's this rumor or there's this thing, and it's like, oh, so-and-so's in the game. Like I know, for instance, in Destiny, for a long time, there was just persistent rumor that inside the Vault of Glass raid of Destiny 1, there's a 6th chest somewhere, and we just got to find it. And there would be these teams that just would spend hours and hours trying to find it. In that case in particular, it turned out never to be true. They never found a 6th chest. But I love it whenever,
That stinks.
well, at least officially it was
false
never done.
rumors.
And the crazy thing
I know,
about
aren't
the
they great?
Destiny one is that Bungie would never confirm or deny. They're just like, we're not telling you if there is or there isn't. And so people
Yeah,
just
go
believed
play
it,
the game.
and they just kept doing
That's
it
awesome,
over and
though.
over. But I love it whenever people kind of are able to find things out about games like years after they released, and you're still able to find new cool stuff. And the fact that they were able to find this boss and he's actually still in the game, and he had been hidden away and nobody had figured out how to get to him yet. I thought that was really, really cool.
If I worked for that gaming company, I would like wake up every day and check Twitter. Like, did they find it today?
I know.
Find it today?
That would be, I mean, it would be insane. And there's been other games too where there's like little Easter eggs or whatnot hidden in the game, and then nobody finds them 10 years away. And then finally, the developer's like, all right, look, I put this in this game. You'll never found it. Here it is.
He's all mad.
Right. You idiots.
Yeah, I'd be so, I don't know that I could keep it secret. I might be tweeting out and be like,
Yeah.
have you found that? Oh, there's something over by this door. What? Oh. I couldn't keep it secret personally.
Yeah.
Getting warmer.
Exactly. Warmer, colder.
Warm, cold. Warm, hot.
Ed Placencia,
Yes, sir.
what you got for us, brother?
New tubes.
New on the new tubes this
I
week.
love that. Love that.
Oh, I forgot. I played The Evil Within 2.
Yeah,
oh,
you did.
Yeah.
And
Big props to Jackie Shock in the community. And I'm enjoying it. I've only played a little
Nice.
bit of it. The first 2 parts are up, but I'm enjoying it. I didn't play the first one, so I have to kind of fill in the gaps on my own as far as the story.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, this is like the Matrix. That's in my head. That's what's happening here.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. And Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, my Fear Quit is on there as well.
I know.
Yeah,
that's
it
right.
is.
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot. I
you-
played Lick My Wounds with Chris McCracken this week.
Oh, how'd that go for you?
It went terrible. Me and Chris's football teams this week got demolished.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, we did.
While
I will
everybody
say
was
that at
watching.
the very least, I was able to prepare myself because I knew this was going to happen this week. So, or
Well,
last week.
I figured too.
Yeah.
You know, going up against
We
the
held
Steelers.
we held on. We held on for a while, and then it just all
yeah,
went
but
to
then
pot.
Mariota started playing for the Steelers.
I know. I know.
I wanted to text Ben like,
football.
how's it having 2 quarterbacks play for y'all's team?
Right? That's what you should have said. That's perfect.
I didn't. I texted him beforehand, and he was like, I hope we get him good. I was like, shut up. And then they get us good. I hate that.
I know.
I'm just
I
going to
hate
say,
when
if
they're
I
right.
had his text message, I'd be like, so what you having for dinner tonight? I'd just be texting all the time.
You playing any Destiny
his
2?
text message.
Right.
If I had his number, yep, that's what I'd be doing.
Just a plate of crow.
It's all good, man. Our Preds are doing awesome. We won 8 of the last 9.
Hey, I'll take it.
We're crushing it.
Sounds good. Sorry, Ed.
That's fine, man.
Carry on.
Continue, good sir.
Carry on, Ed, with the new tubes.
Looking at our top 10 new tubes, combining the average watch time and views for the week of November 14th through the 20th. Number 10, Married to the Games, episode 270, the new tubes. There you go.
YouTubes.
Yay.
Number 9, Hugh Part 5, red.
Oh, here we go.
Number 8, Hugh Part 8, green.
Yes.
Number 7, Watch
It's not
Dogs
free
2,
anymore.
Part 48. I know, right? Ghost signals.
It's not free anymore.
Stop playing it.
Stop playing.
Number 6, Hugh Part 7, yellow. Number 5, Hugh Part 9, mountains, which is another thing. This entire game isn't a struggle. So the fact that people are checking all of these for answers,
Oh,
come on,
interesting. Interesting.
get smart. Number 4, Hugh Part 4, pink. Number 3, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, paint job.
Mm.
Number 2, Hugh Part 10, university. Number 1, Hugh Part 11, ending. That's all for me.
Thorfeld Swamp. No.
Keep our 11 ending.
Dang it.
Oh,
Dang it,
man.
dang it.
That is funny. Get that the something of blood up there. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. That
Yes.
was funny.
It'll be
Yeah,
up-
that
it'll be up
was
there.
good. It'll definitely be up
guarantee
there. That
it.
was great, Ed. Well done.
Get that up there. It's so funny. Oh, no, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done. No. I'm done.
I'm
done.
so
It's
done.
too much at once.
I
So
can't
great.
right now. I just so can't.
even.
Can't even right now with Rush of Blood. With these clowns, I can't.
Too much blood rushing.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I didn't expect it even though it's in the title.
I don't even like roller coasters.
This game is scary?
It's
You know,
scary. I thought it was happy blood. What? I don't understand.
I love that you're in the video. You're like, so when does this get awful? It takes about 7 seconds.
I know, right?
I can't. I'm done. I just can't.
I knew it was coming. I couldn't remember when.
Yep.
You know what's funny is when I was watching you play it, I was like, oh, is it just a creepy carnival game? That's all it's going to be? I was like, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Until Dawn, was that the one with Hayden Panettiere?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
And it's really cool because there's a lot in there that's from the game, just kind of like as you're driving or riding around, like, oh my gosh, there's that, or it's kind of cool that they still
But it
incorporate
doesn't really
the
have
game.
anything to do with the game, right?
Yeah, like you don't have to see the game, but you'll definitely notice more, just kind of like, oh yeah, the bad guy there, that's the bad guy from the game, kind of a thing.
Oh, cool.
Gotcha. You think you'll beat it?
I probably will. We played.
Yeah.
It's not a very long game, and we made quite a bit of progress yesterday. So
There you go.
Get on
I
it.
can't wait for like 3 days from now where you all break out with zits around your eyes from sharing the same
dude, it's-
PSVR.
I know, right?
It comes with the cleaning cloth. Just make sure you use it.
Yeah, just because it comes
Zips
with it.
around your eyes.
People are like,
That
what
may or may
happened
not
to you?
Now you look like an orc.
Right.
Exactly.
Why has everyone got turkey grease all over their face?
I know.
Gross.
It's disgusting
Oh, man.
and awesome at the same time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, what are you thankful for? It's the Thanksgiving episode. For many of you, you're going to be listening to this the day after Thanksgiving. For some of you, that might be crazy enough. You'll be listening to this on Thanksgiving.
What?
Right?
And if I get it out fast enough, you'll be listening to it the night before Thanksgiving.
How can they listen to it the night before?
Oh, man, that doggone Patreon, baby.
What?
Yeah.
We got that extra thing. We got something new coming to Patreon soon. So we'll let you know. But we asked you what you're thankful for. Starting over on the forum, Josh S. Street team. There is so much to be thankful for, so I will avoid the obvious ones: family, job, religion, etc., and instead say just how grateful I am for the friends I have made from the MTTG community.
Come on.
While I really do appreciate the daily chatter back and forth with the community about the games we are playing, what really sticks out to me are the one-on-ones I have been able to have. Carpooling with Adam Paith to Toby Mac in Chicago, having lunch at Bojangles with Timothy Hall, or going to Sean Capri's podcast are just a few examples of great memories that have been made by my interactions with you guys. I also
Nice.
am really thankful for those in the community who have sent me private messages to check on me or just say hi. I struggle to express what an amazing group this is. For me, I started off not knowing anyone associated with MTTG, but I'm thankful to now call this group family.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's
man.
beautiful.
So cool.
Darn it. I'm going to pass the tissues up in here.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Robert Darrell Good Jr., we love you, Josh.
Mm.
I'm thankful for a lot of things, but while I'm listening to you read this, I know I will feel particularly thankful for the MTTG crew and community. The last few years have been filled with a lot of upheaval for me and my family, and we're fine, but it's been stressful and sometimes kind of lonely. The sense of community I've gotten from interacting with you guys through these submissions and joining the community on Twitter and Xbox Live has made a big difference. I went from 0 Twitter followers for 2 years, I had the account, to over a dozen or so in one morning because someone from the community found me hiding out there. And your kind words over some of the things I've written in have been invaluable to me. So right now, I'm thankful for Married to the Games. Keep up the good work. I look forward to every episode, and especially episode 300. Whoa! Oh, that's coming up. Oh, Lord.
Wow. Yeah. Oh.
Robert Darrell Good Jr., we appreciate you, brother.
That's awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Always.
Toofus Thankful for an awesome wife, great family and friends, a new house, and a job that I
Hey.
enjoy.
That's awesome.
On the gaming side, I'm thankful that I started speedrunning Super Metroid this year.
Ooh.
I've been really surprised at how nice the speedrunning community is. It's not as good as the MTTG community, but hey, who is?
Hey.
Speedrunning has been more fun than I ever thought it would be. Challenging yourself to be just a little bit better can be aggravating, but it is such an awesome feeling every time you beat your personal best. Happy Thanksgiving all, and to all a good night or morning or afternoon, depending on when you listen to the podcast. Oh man, that's
I like
great.
that.
Love
That's
it.
awesome.
Nice.
Love it.
That is really good. Shoot, dang it, the love, man, the love.
Right?
Doggone it, man. I want to speed run a game. I just don't know if
I
I'm
feel like I could not. Yeah, I don't think I could handle
Yeah,
it.
I don't either.
I would start and be like, all right, I'm a speed runner. No. Oh, I'm done.
But I wonder if I could like get
Yep.
down like Super Mario Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like I already feel
Yeah,
like I
you
could beat
could.
that fairly fast,
Mm-hmm.
but like speed running is different than beating something fast. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true.
Right.
Over on Discordia, Vetstone. Outside of my family and friends, I'm thankful for a bunch of little things that make my day better each and every day. Getting that coveted parking spot, the cafeteria not running out of my favorite flavor of coffee, finding the last remaining Irish creamer, and coming home to kids who are growing up right and enjoying their childhood. Be thankful for the small things in life. It'll be easier to be thankful for the big things, like
That's
my
true.
health, my job,
Amen.
and all the awesome games I've played. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Oh, that's good.
That's
Good
That's a good one.
reminder.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Over on Facebook, Nathan David Dugas. First off, I'm thankful for you guys. I may get on your case about the Nintendo quote unquote hate sometimes, but I've appreciated your podcast every week for the past 4.5 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you always for being clean and awesome. I know this answer is supposed to be besides family, but hear me out. My youngest son, Landon, was a surprise baby we found out about last December. He was born 3 weeks early in July. Since we knew my job at the time couldn't pay enough to make things work with another kid, I finally decided to look for a new job. It turns out that was the right move, even though it required a move 6 hours away, leaving a town I lived in for 13 years because
Wow.
everything was about to go to crap at my job of almost 9 years. I got the job I applied for. We moved, and 8 months later are grateful for how God used someone so small to get us out of a bad situation.
Ooh, there you go.
We live in a nicer climate. We have an awesome church, and I have a great job with great benefits that not only allows my wife to stay home with our boys, but has at most a tenth of the stress of my previous job.
There you go.
During its last year.
Amen.
Wow.
Good
That's
deal.
awesome. So cool.
Good for you, Nathan. That is
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Over on Twitter, we got Gaz at Young Gaz.
You guys. That's what I always hear. That's what I hear when I see him. You
That's awesome.
What's up, you guys? Hey, you guys. I'm ready to marry the games, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
So good.
Hashtag anti-MTTG, guys.
I'm never gonna see that handle the same
That-
again, Chris.
Yeah, that's ruined.
That is perfect,
that's
Chris.
ruined.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh. He says the internet, it gets a bad rap at times, but without it, I would not have found so many great things and people, MTTG being one of them. Thanks, guys, for your tireless efforts to entertain us each week.
Hey, be thankful for it before it gets destroyed here in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh,
There you go.
net neutrality. We're going to stay free, though. I don't even know how net neutrality works, but we're staying free. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not going to charge you more because we have gotten in cahoots with Time Warner or whatever the freak. Spencer Stapleton at Street Team MTTG. Are you laughing
Yeah,
because
it
you can
is.
tell how little I know about it?
Yeah.
All I know is like it was some kind of AT&T, Time Warner, something or else, and Comcast, and websites being expensive by their choosing. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Just
I don't-
read your
I don't
stuff.
like it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't like it neither.
I don't even like what it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right. Spencer Stapleton at Street Team MTTG, which also, funny enough, stands for Street Team.
Oh, yeah.
Family, friends, and leftovers. Seriously,
Hey,
the
yeah.
best part of Thanksgiving is eating it again
Yes.
the day after.
And again and again.
Also, in no particular order, my job, pizza, wireless controllers, lemon meringue pie, Star Wars, flat pillows, motorcycles,
Flat
music.
pillows.
Flat pillows.
Why would you be thankful for a flat pillow?
Just sleep on the floor at that point.
Jeez.
Right. Just lay on a blanket folded in half.
I know.
Flat pillows.
That's the
Some people,
worst.
pillows.
some people get neck crinks.
I'm
I guess.
I'm
Don't
thankful
use a
for
pillow.
soda with no carbonation.
That's called water.
I'm thankful for bathrooms with no air freshener. What in the world?
Exactly.
I'm thankful for cars with only 2 working wheels.
Sunshine.
Jeez.
We love you,
I
Spencer.
love that we're ripping on what he's thankful for.
I know. Seriously. It is a strange thing, flat pillows. I don't.
It's
even,
all good.
I don't even know where you buy
we
something
lo-
like that.
We still love him just the
Oh,
same.
man.
I would just think that was a pillowcase inside a pillowcase.
I know. Oh, is that
It's not
laundry?
even a pillow at
No,
that
that's
point.
my
It's just a
pillow.
sheet.
Oh.
Yeah.
The paper towel.
Now I know what to do with all these carpet samples.
Exactly.
Hey Spence, can you move your jeans from off the bed? That's my pillow.
We love you, Spencer. Oh, you're getting throttled for this one, but we love you.
Oh man.
Just know it's all done in love.
Exactly.
So
if
did
we
he
don't
have more?
tease you, we don't love you. Sunshine, comedy, and the Chicago Cubs number 280.
Oh, it's all better now.
Yeah, see, you're like
There it
flat
is.
You can have your
pillows
flat
for the win.
pillows.
Yeah. What's Chicago Cubs number 280? Ed?
Is that an area code?
It's how many pounds a flat pillow doesn't weigh.
Oh, jeez. Matt.
Gabe's like, that's not the answer I wanted.
That's not the real answer.
You can just hear his disappointment.
Exactly. Matthew Shepard at ShepDog921. Waffle cones. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like a waffle cone.
Yeah.
I'm out of waffle cone. Mike Lopez at Taco Douglas says, great podcast. Wink, wink. I know that's right.
Nice.
Mike is on the Super Best Friends video game sleepover podcast that I've been on a couple times. And so, yeah, power to the podcast, Mike Lopez. Oh, my gosh. Shoot. Is there any more?
That's
I think
good.
we're all done. I should have read the...
The Cubs 280 is in reference to a baseball card.
A baseball card? So are you saying he has it?
I
Is
don't
that
know
what
if
he's
he
saying?
does. I'm impressed.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Ed was talking about YouTube.com/married to the games, the YouTube channel, marriedtothegames.com. Come check out the forum. Like we mentioned before, now on Patreon, patreon.com/MTTG. And keep your ears to the ground because we've still got some people out there doing Extra Life this year.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. Yes, we do.
But a kid. So check out for that. And
Who's the guy in the corner in your office that's
yeah.
just yelling?
he cares about the kids.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Eduardo,
Yeah. Oh, rate us on iTunes, leave a review,
Fail.
and we'll deflate all your pillows as well.
They
Nice.
go around popping pillows.
Like, I prefer birthdays the day after when all the balloons have lost their air.
That's right.
They're all droopy, looking like a weeping willow.
Can my birthday party just have flat balloons?
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Spencer's all happy.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're going to start with email, mailbag at marriedtothegames.com. You can always hit us up there. Travis P., something different this time. A question for each of you. So here we go. Gabe,
Yeah.
does your wife sing as awesome as you do?
Ooh. Is she in here?
Careful.
Careful, Icarus.
Careful.
Jenny's dream was to always be a singer, and she has done very well to watch me be a singer and not let her jealousy overtake her most of the time.
Nice.
We'll go with that.
But she can sing.
Yes.
Like, she could hold her own.
Mhm.
All right, well, before we get thrown into the fire.
You know what's
we
funny?
will
I've
continue.
actually never heard her outwardly sing. She doesn't sing in front of me. So I've never heard her like stand her ground and sing a song. I've never heard it.
Okay.
So I have
Interesting.
There it is.
to, I don't have a actual opinion on it.
Hmm.
I'd figure she's
Gotcha.
got like nice tone. So I'd figure
Right.
that she could sing, but I've never heard her like, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna sing you this song.
Yeah.
Right. And
Exactly.
You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Ed.
So when you have the choice to sit it out or dance. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, Ed, can you Zumba with Sarah, and how long before you pass out?
I have taken her class, but I can only go for about 10, 15 minutes before I have to sit down just
Before
because
you
of
have to oil your hips back up.
yeah, just before it's more of like a passing out thing.
Ed the Tin Man.
It's
Just
more like
because
a
you
Start
passing
seeing
out
stars and everything. You're like, wait a
I know,
minute.
right? It's just because how I'm made up physically. I can't actually exert myself when I start. As soon as I start to sweat, it's a medical phenomenon that the doctors haven't been able to find out why. So I just don't. I have to be
You
careful.
are allergic to working out. That's
I know,
basically
right?
what that
That's
is.
basically
That's
what
why
it
your
is.
worst. That's why your worst injury is a sprained ankle.
I know, right?
All the
Must be
blood
that.
rushes to his hips, and then it loses,
I know.
goes from his brain.
That's it.
Yep.
His hips do lie
That's
for
it.
sure.
They do.
There's definitely lie.
Fibbers.
They're liars. Chris, top 3 Metallica songs. If they aren't one, Master of Puppets and Blackened, you are wrong.
I'll stick with him on Blackened. I even though it's popular, I will stick with him on one. And then the other one I'm going to say is Motor Breath.
Mm.
What a
all right.
terrible sound of name for that song.
No,
I think you need some Listerine
I
for
know,
that.
right? Those guys an Altoid.
Motor breath.
All right. and-
What is that song about, Chris?
Going fast. It's a really fast song too. It's on Kill 'Em All, their first album. It's a really
Cool.
fast, really awesome song.
That's some angry
That's
children.
awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, your most favorite father-daughter activity. Man, I love going to hockey games with Piper, and I can't wait to we get to do it
Yeah.
again this next week. It's
Good
just
deal.
it's such a good memory for me. I hope it's a good memory for her, and we just have a really good time. And,
That's awesome.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
That's
it's
cool.
great.
I love that.
And then he says, "Thank you for the awesome podcast. I hope each of you has a beautiful Thanksgiving. Love always. Friggin' nutcase." And then his signature is sent from my Atari 2600.
I love that.
I like
That's
that.
funny.
Yeah, I do too. Sticking with email, D. Hi, what's the earliest you begin Christmas shopping? It seems like it gets earlier and earlier every year for me. Also, do you prefer online or heading out to the store? I like going to the store to soak up the holiday ambience.
Yes, I go to the store, but I shop online,
Mm.
Yeah, me too.
and we start thinking about it pretty heavily in October
Oh, there you go.
when we start Christmas shopping. Ed,
Yeah, we don't go to the store. We pretty much only shop online, and it's just really nice because Sarah and I are both kind of, instead of getting each other gifts, it's basically let's set aside this much money. We can each get whatever we want.
I like
And
that.
that's like
I like
that's the
that.
Christmas gift to each other. And then for everyone else, because we shop online, maybe 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. I understand that as well.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
usually start shopping around. Like we'll start around this time. Usually once the first week in November hits, and it's just small stuff here and there, and then really the throes of it is the first 2 weeks in December.
Mm.
But I like to shop online. It depends though. I think on what we're looking for. A lot of the stuff for our family, we'll just get it at stores. But if it's for people outside of the that don't live here or anything like that, we'll usually online shop too.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
pretty much go to stores for most of it. I will do online shopping, but I don't like you can't always get like a gift receipt, or if it's something that I'm not sure if the person's gonna like, I want it to be easy for them to return or exchange if it's
Yeah,
not the
that's
right
good.
size or whatever. And I sometimes through online things that can be a little more of a hassle than it's worth.
Yeah.
And I'd like to start shopping earlier. Like the minute that I start seeing things like in the spring, the summer, I'll start buying things if I realize, oh, so-and-so would really love that, or that'd be great for this person. I'll buy it and just put it away. I don't like to wait until late, but this year I'm definitely behind. I've still got a good number of gifts I got to get, and it's, we're about to be in December almost. So
Yep.
There we are.
Great question. Thanks, Steve, for that.
Mhm.
Moving on to Discord, Bad Gamer Elite,
Hey.
hashtag NTTG Historian. Tongs for hands or wheels for feet, and why? Got to choose one.
wheels for feet.
Heck,
for feet.
yeah.
Who would
Absolutely
choose
wheels
tongs for
feet.
hands?
Wait, tongs or tongues?
It says tongs.
Tongs,
E-
Tongs.
Either one. I'm going wheels for feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, wheels for feet, definitely.
I thought he
It's
said
called
tongues. I was like, I
roller
don't want to taste everything I'm touching. That's why.
skating.
Taste every door handle you open. Ugh.
Oh,
Right?
Lord have mercy.
Every time you shake
Going to the
someone's hand.
bathroom.
Yeah, you got to. I do meet and greets. I shake a lot of hands, Doc.
Oh,
I ain't trying to taste all them hands.
You would have Ebola by now, that's for sure.
I'd have something.
That's right. All right.
I'd have that thing
Cat
Ed's
Jack.
got.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, when I start sweating, I get faint.
He'd have a
That's
bowl of Purell beside him the whole time. That's for
Ebola
sure.
Purell,
Yeah, but then I have to
exactly.
taste the Purell. That can't be healthy.
Ah. Oh, I can't be good.
Wheels for feet. Yeah, for sure.
I think we all agree wheels for feet on that
Yeah.
one. Just because you could get around faster.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you freaking look like what's his name? Frozone. Who's that guy from Incredibles?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Frozone.
that's right.
Couldn't
Yeah,
he
there
kind
you
of
go.
like skate around or something like that?
Yeah.
That is exactly what you would look like. Exactly. Just
Exactly.
put on that super suit.
Yeah, I get to ask Jenny for it every day.
Where
Right.
is my super suit?
Jenny!
Yep, exactly.
Where's my super suit? She'd be like, okay, it's old now. I get it. Ha ha ha.
I get it.
ha.
Exactly.
You got wheels for feet.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
It's where you took it off.
So funny.
That's awesome. All right, moving on. Cat Jack. You each find out you're having another boy.
Oh, gosh.
Or getting a male.
Blech.
Or getting a male. Exactly. Or getting a male dog, depending on the family structure. The personality of the new family addition matches that of one of your co-hosts. Who would you want your new addition to be like, and why?
Oh, man.
Oh man, I want my new puppy to have Router's disposition because Router's
Yay.
already so loving, like
Dang
a
it.
dog.
That's
You
what I
know,
was
like
gonna
a
say.
dog.
Yay!
A dog is so
Uh-huh.
loyal.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want an
But he does
agreeable.
I hate
pee
you,
on
Ed.
everything.
That's true.
Yeah, I would.
He isn't
I would
housebroken.
pee.
You got to keep him away from that cauliflower, though.
Deuce right. Exactly. I would drop a deuce right on your bed, man.
Jeez.
Be like, all right, let's see how these guys work. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll say Ed just because I want my dog to be open to trying new things.
Man, I was just gonna say that
Like what?
for my
What you
son,
need your dog to do?
because you're so open.
Like if I get a
You're
new,
just
like
open-minded about it.
I don't know how your dogs are, but I'll have a dog and I'll get a new toy and be like, oh, they're gonna like this, and nope, I just want the old toy. I'm good with
Oh,
those.
that's
It's like
funny.
I like being able to switch it
Oh,
up,
okay.
and now you have a frisbee and you're gonna go do that, or just something different. Like try something new.
Sadie wants all the toys.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Chris. I'd go with Ed just because he's up for anything, and so I would want my son to be able to just be like, yeah, I'll try that, or yeah, I'll do this, just to experience everything, just to say that you've done it.
Plus, my dog would make money because of all the voiceover lessons. I mean, come on,
Exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
make me great coffee. It'd be awesome.
my
Right.
gosh.
My son's doing a video game for a VR game about sharks. It'd be great.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's
funny.
really funny.
Gabe, what you got?
Oh, well, I was gonna say if it's a dog, I want it to be like Router, and if I had a kid, I think I want it to be like Chris. Cause,
Nice.
There you go.
Cause I like the debate,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the
Yeah.
way Chris educates
Go at
himself
it.
on things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so you want
Absolutely.
you want a child that stands up for what it believes in, but also has a reason to stand up for what they believe in.
Yeah.
And is
Not
also
just because
open to having
TV says so.
yeah, and being open to having their mind changed, which is a rarity,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially for a man.
right?
Yeah. The great thing about you, Chris, is that if you make a case for something and you have all the facts and all the info, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm down with that. You know, you know, you'll fact check it, but at the same time, like you see both sides, and that's what I love.
I like
Make a
it.
good lawyer.
Thank you, guys.
Anyway, or a
There you go.
photographer.
Yeah. All right, Nova Beyond. What's your favorite turkey? White meat, dark meat, smoked, or deep fried? I vote for deep fried bacon bird. Ooh, that would be awesome. Deep fried bacon turkey.
I don't even know what that means.
Is that even here in this world?
So is
Because
it like
sign me
a
up.
turkey
Why
that's
don't you-
wrapped in bacon, then deep fried, I'm assuming?
It must be.
Huh,
But
I've never
Lord
had
have
that.
mercy.
that bacon.
Why don't you just have
There's
some
no
bacon?
way that bacon would burn too much. So you'd have to do it like the last 2 minutes of the frying, don't you think? Or would you do I don't know.
Or maybe they're frying
how
it
you do
in
that.
bacon grease.
Ooh, maybe.
I don't know.
Either way, you had me at bacon. So thank you.
I don't really taste a difference between light and dark.
Yeah, I don't know the difference between those two.
I taste the difference, but I like both. I just
I
like
do
turkey.
too.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's one of my
Excellent.
favorite of the birds to eat.
The
Yeah,
fowl.
I love
The
turkey.
fowl.
Of the
It's
fowl.
not foul at all. It's
to
really
eat.
good. Mm.
It's awesome. Man, now I want some bacon.
Gosh. Yeah, I've never had fried turkey. What is it? Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
had
I never
fried
have
turkey.
either.
Oh, that's good.
You've never had a deep fried turkey?
No.
No.
If somebody
Oh,
knows what they're doing and can do
so-
it well, yeah, it's good.
Oh,
You can
Is
go
that the
You
same
overboard.
thing as
definitely
like
taste
fried chicken? Except turkey?
kind of.
Not really.
Like,
mean,
is it a
you can-
KFC turkey?
I mean, it's not quite the same because there's not breading, but if they leave the skin on, then the skin is crispy.
Yeah, it's crispy. It's just a different flavor, and you can texture wise, of course.
If it's a
definitely
KFC
different.
turkey, I'll take it.
There you go. There you go.
A KFT.
KFT.
Yeah, KFT. Come on with that.
Nice. I love it. All right. Arctic Warlocks. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. So you are traveling to go see family for Thanksgiving. You have two options of travel, either by airplane with 2 layovers. You kind of decided to go last minute, and this is all you can find, middle seats only.
Yep.
Or travel in a car that is a little too compact for your family. Which do you choose and why? And oh, yeah, you do not have a radio, switch, iPad, phone, or any other electronics
geez, of
in
course.
either of these two options. Have fun. My favorite of this is Jeff Swan. He wrote, I choose the flu in that scenario.
She's not showing up. I know that's right.
That is awesome. I will do car because I
You
would
enjoy
have
the drive.
way more. I enjoy the drive. I would have way more flexibility. We can stop when we wanted to versus not being able to stop at 35,000 feet up in the air.
That's right.
Mhm.
I would probably choose car as well, but only because I would likely be the driver, and then they usually can't cramp the driver. I mean, they need their space. So
Yeah, and you're little.
yeah,
Hmm.
true.
It has to be like one of those Swatch Watch cars.
This watch cars.
Ed,
Awesome.
I mean, if we're going far enough away that we have to have 2 layovers, I probably would rather fly, and I can just definitely read or do crosswords on the plane, or
oh yeah,
I'd be good with that.
I used to love crosswords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the car only because I really don't like the airport. There's just so much that can go wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
Usually
There's
with-
too many factors.
Yeah, usually with driving, you've got the car is the factor.
Yeah.
With getting 2 layovers, especially like Ed's saying, depending on where you're going. If I'm going like Nashville to Orlando, then and I got to go through Washington, Dulles, then
No.
Right.
and North Carolina.
By the time
Then
by the time you got there, you would
drove.
have been there if you drove. That's,
Exactly.
I will drive to Orlando at any time now
But
because it's so much easier.
if I have to go to Cali,
Yeah.
right. That's
you might
road
have
trip.
to take the plane. I don't know, man. It depends. It's not like I'm going in an RV. He says it's got to be cramped.
Yeah. In my head, I was picturing Cali just because it's 2 layovers. Like if it was Nashville, then yeah, I would definitely drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Man, I'd still drive to Cali. That drive would be fun.
Yeah, I did.
An
I did
adventure.
do
It
it
would be-
once.
It is a fun drive.
Good question.
Great question. Moving on to Facebook, Brett T. Bodden. The power at my house went out today for nearly 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
The kids and myself were beside ourselves because we couldn't play our games.
Mm.
What are your favorite activities to do when the power goes out? Play stare at it in a box by candlelight.
Play stare at the box.
Stare at.
That's a good question because I know I've got my phone, but I feel like that's the cheap answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris, what do you say?
Drive to the arcade.
Hey! He came prepared for that one.
Yeah, that is great.
That was with conviction. Well played, sir.
I love board games, so I
Yep.
can board game it up
Yeah,
with
man.
with no power.
Yep.
That's
I've been playing
exactly
some
where I'm going.
really nerdy games lately.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a buddy on the road. We call him Scrumps. I don't think I actually know his real name.
Oh, nice.
And yes, it's short for Scrumptious. And
Oh, that's
Nice.
hilarious.
yeah, he was the tour hottie like a couple tours ago. We always name one male the tour hottie, and
Is he like a male stripper or something?
no, he just like no, but he
Please welcome to the stage,
This is-
Scrumptious.
no.
Bow now, wow, wow, bow now, wow, 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 bow now.
That sounds like freaking People's Court. There's a stripping to the
I know,
People's
right?
Court theme song.
He's got an
right.
issue with the road crew. They stole his overalls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's a
is
case
perfect.
of don't undo me. So anyway, long story. So yeah, Scrumps is big into board games and card games, and so he'll bring them on the road. There's one called Munchkins that we've been playing.
Oh, awesome.
He brought one called I'm not gonna remember it, but you like go through a dungeon. You have to fight a dragon. You know what I'm saying? It's not Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna say Dungeons and Dragons.
But
perhaps?
you have to like go down these stairs, and you're each like a character, and each have your own I was a paladin, he was a something else, I don't remember. So it's definitely
cool.
like on the nerdier side of things, but they've been really fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ed, what about you? No power,
That's
Doc.
really
What you
cool.
doing?
Yeah, definitely board games.
Yep.
Me too. I'm board gaming it up.
You guys don't do board games, though, do you, Tim?
If the power went out, I would. No, I mean Lauren's not a huge gamer, but my buddy Evan,
Yeah, he is.
over at Ribbo, he's developed 2 already, and he's introduced me to some, and he's trying to put together like a Ribbo crew board game night, and we've done it once before, and it was so much fun. That's actually where I first learned about Secret Hitler. And,
yeah.
What a game.
And so yeah, I do enjoy. I love games in general, be it video or board games or anything. But yeah, it would be fun.
Why did
But
we
yeah,
not
I
set
mean,
up
Lauren,
the 360 camera for Secret Hitler when we played that?
I don't know.
Oh, my
'cause we were
gosh, dude.
just getting into it. We would now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We would.
So, yeah, great question. All right, let's move over to Twitter real quick. Josh Stapleton at MTTG Street Team. Here we go. This year, my wife and I hit our 15-year anniversary.
Hey.
Congratulations,
Nice.
brother. To celebrate, we're going on our first vacation sans kids.
Ooh.
My question.
He's taking his sand kids.
Mhm.
He's taking his sand children, yes. There's a little-
Heck was that?
I have
Those are
no
sand
idea.
people. This is sand people.
I thought it was Chewbacca.
I thought it was like a sick Chewbacca.
Oh man, Chewbacca fell in the well again.
Like, what's that, Chewie? Oh, Yeah, Timmy fell in the well.
What's that? Tommy fell in the well.
Anyway,
It definitely sounds like
all right.
on his deathbed, Chewy.
That's right. My question is it okay to bring the Nintendo if I only play at night when she's asleep? What do you think?
Oh man, often
Yeah, you can.
I think you take it, man. Often I think as men, we sometimes believe, and we should be turned this way, that the anniversary is all about the wife, which is fine. But then we have to realize it takes two to have an anniversary.
It takes two,
Right.
baby.
So I would imagine, want you to have a good anniversary as well. So I say you take it.
Yeah.
I would say ask first. Just be like, hey, babe, is it okay if I bring the Nintendo? Yeah, why not? Because here's the thing. You do not want to bring that thing out, and then she gives you that look. Anniversary over.
But if she's
Forget it.
sleeping,
The anniversary's not
If
over.
she's
It's happening.
Do it.
It's
No. If she's sleeping, that's fine.
yeah. He's only
But
playing
I-
it when she's asleep.
Yeah, that's fine. But I would still just be like, oh, well, okay, maybe not ask. Maybe just be like, hey, babe, I'm going to bring the Nintendo if that's okay. I would say you do that.
Man,
Just so she's not surprised.
yeah. While she's sleeping.
I think if she knows him and she sees him packing it in, she'll be like, oh yeah,
There you go.
he's bringing that. It's like if
Yep.
you would bring an electric razor, like, oh yeah, there's that thing that my
Not
husband.
that I think it's bad to ask, but it's your wife. It's not your mom. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
No, I know that. It's just a consideration.
Ooh, I'm bringing this switch for when you take a nap, because Lord have mercy, you like to nap.
Right?
Who doesn't like to nap?
I know my wife loves to nap. She never gets to
Yep.
anymore, but she loves
I
it.
was
I've got
gonna
all
say,
these,
how's that going for?
I found
how's
a-
that working out for
I
her?
found an old hard drive with a bunch of pictures on it, and I went through this phase where I always took pictures of her and the dog when they were sleeping, because they would always
That's
like
creepy.
I'd be doing something and turn around, they'd both be out, and I'd be like, oh my
hilarious.
gosh. So the
That's
sleeping thing
so
goes
funny.
way back before kids.
Yep. All right. Final question. Ollie Jolly Christmas at Oriba. Oriba. What are your gaming mannerisms, if any? I stand up when I get into it. And I noticed Ed plays on his knees.
That's right.
Yes.
I adjust. I like if the game's getting good and I'm getting into it, I notice that I'll go sit on the coffee table. Like I won't stay.
Really?
I won't stay on the couch. No, I'll have to
Yeah.
move a little bit closer and really get into it.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm lounging.
Yep. For me, it's couch, feet up. And then if I'm like really trying to get something, like if I'm trying to kill a captain while riding an Olog, I will basically sit up on the ottoman and lean forward.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Chris.
I don't know for sure, but from looking back at like streams or whatever in the past, if I'm really into something, like if I'm playing Overwatch or something more intense, and I'm trying to get a play of the game or do something really cool, and then I screw it up, like I'll move my mouth and do weird things with my mouth, but I don't notice I'm doing it until I watch
Oh,
that.
that's
Shut
funny.
up, Gabe.
Not anything like crazy, but I'll move it around.
Not crazy
He's
like
sitting there
Ed.
going yip 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 yip.
Yeah, it's not
Ed looks
quite
like
the
he-
same as Ed, but
Ed looks like he's trying to make peanut butter.
yeah, it's not quite the same as Ed. Or honestly, it may
scratch
just be
with
hidden by the
actual
beard,
peanuts.
but I don't know.
That is funny.
Ed, what about what are all of yours?
They've all been mentioned. On my knees, speaking silently in tongues.
I cannot believe you play on your knees. That is crazy.
I know that makes no
That is
sense how you're
crazy.
able to do that.
I don't know.
And it's just
You guys
comfortable
don't?
down there like that, huh?
Yeah, man.
And you can
Gotta
stay
get
there.
in
Like, did you do your whole 24 hours like that?
No, just because we had people over, so I was in a chair for some of it, and I ended up in a chair. I think, trying not to
Yeah.
fall asleep.
I know that's
There you
right.
go.
That is funny. Oh my gosh.
And that is it for the questions. Thank you so much, everybody.
yes, thank you so much for the questions. The question of the week for you guys is I have no idea. I did
Is so Black Friday.
yeah, I guess the day this comes out will be Black Friday. What did you pick up on Black Friday?
Hey,
Oh,
I
there
like
it
this.
is.
See,
Nice recovery. Nice recovery.
Wow. This podcast comes out on Black Friday. We want to know what you went out and got. Did you find some crazy deals? Did you just like find an deal? Did you not even leave the house?
Did you fight with somebody?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Did you trample over someone?
Oh, yeah.
Or were you trampled? Either one.
Did you trample over someone's children? Let us know.
You beat somebody up over a toaster? We want to know.
Oh shoot. Yeah, we want to know what deals did you get? It could be TV, it could be techie stuff. It doesn't have to be a video game something. Just let us know. Did you pick up a new washer and dryer? That's what we did last year.
There you go.
Or 2 years ago, maybe. No, last year. We got to do washer and dryer, which Jenny does not like anymore.
Aw.
Of course.
Thanks. It's one of those things where I knew she wouldn't like it, but like at the time she was really hype on it, so you want to just appease the thing.
Yeah.
I was like, she's not going to like this like a year from now. And
Right.
look at it. She's like, I kind of wish we had our old. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
that happens. So let us know. Use hashtag answer MTTG. Thank you guys so much for listening. 271 in the books. And happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're so thankful for this
Gobble,
community.
gobble.
We're so thankful that
Yeah.
you guys are listening. You guys are
Yes.
awesome, and I brag on you everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
So when the thing that gets me talking about the podcast is you guys. It's what helps me
That's right.
when I'm thinking like, I'm not gonna tell this guy about it. But then I'm like, I'll tell him because the freaking podcast, what he be walking into is awesome. It's not us four, it's y'all. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
For all you do to make this place warm and welcoming.
Amen.
And we'll see you guys in December. No,
What?
we have one more show than December.
I was like,
Right.
wait a second.
Well, actually,
We're
I
taking a
think when
week
it
off?
comes out, it will be when it comes out, it will be December.
Oh
Right.
yeah, the next
Really?
show will be December 1st.
What?
Yeah, on December
Golly.
1st will be the next show.
Unless you're a patron.
Wink, wink.
Exactly. Oh, and next week also starts, and I've got to remember this. Next week also starts the crappy Christmas movies synopsises.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes.
Good,
We'll
good, good.
I have to remember to do
bring
one of those
it
next week.
on.
Oh Lord.
Yep, I got to do. I'll do some research.
I already got one in the chamber.
Is it
Oh,
a new
right.
one?
Sweet.
I don't know how new it is. I need
Yeah.
to look it up.
But it's not
yeah.
one you've done before.
I never kept a list. It was always
Yeah.
such a last minute thing. Hopefully it's not. We'll see. All right, you guys.
That's awesome.
I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Chris McCracken. That is Ed Placencia. And that was the wrong order. But we are married to the games and we are up out this thing.
Hit him.
Yeah!